From the Ugly Parrot Studios in Newcastle, California, the Loom Cigar Cartel presents Beyond the Humidor, a cigar podcast for the rest of us. Hey everybody, welcome back. Scott Robinson with you, fresh back from day in Reno and reevaluating my life's choices. Back to do another episode of Beyond the Humidor, along with the usual group here. Hey Greg, how you doing?
Aside from they forgot to schedule a fucking pilot for my flight out on Friday morning, pretty damn good, but we can get to that later after we talk to the guest.
All right. Hey, Lawrence, how you doing?
Better than Greg.
Well, that's a normal, so.
He's not lying.
And then, of course, live from his habitat, Gorilla, what's going on? Yes, I had that coming.
It's going to be that kind of episode, everyone. I'm just going to get us on that train right now. Camera Girl is good. It has been... A lot has happened since we recorded last, so I'm going to quickly, before we bring the guest in, tell you, I got to help cook a Hawaiian-style pig in the ground, and it tasted fucking awesome.
So you're in charge at the next luau.
Oh, yeah. I got a connection. So,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
As long as he doesn't have to dig the hole, we should be all right.
The hole was there from the last time I helped do the luau, so
There we go.
you only need to dig one, we found out.
Wow. Okie dokie.
God, how you doing, man?
Hair of the dog. Thanks for the vodka, Larry.
No problem.
Because, after drinking in between a third and half a bottle of Macallan last night, and I actually made it here.
Uber's a wonderful thing.
It's cute that you think I used Uber.
Yeah.
Hey, without much ado, let's bring our guest in. They're in the green room board. So we've been trying to get this cat on for a while, and we finally had the stars align and get him aboard. The owner of Just the Tip Cigars out in Pennsylvania, also the co-host of the Cigar Junkies. Let me introduce Sam Hoffman. Hey, Sam, my man. How you doing, brother?
Good. Nice to sit down, just enjoy a cigar for a little bit.
There you go. There you go. In fact, we are enjoying a cigar that you sent us as a gift.
Salud.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about it.
This is the Mi Querida Saka Khan from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. It is a monstrosity Churchill. I didn't actually think about the fact that we were going to, talk about cigars on this. I don't know why I would think that. It's a 7 1/4 by 54. So it's not even a Churchill. It's I think a double Robusto at that point. I don't know. Cigar size naming, as much as I look at it, is just hysterical to actually try and think of what the names are for it.
Thank God, because you think the same thing I think. I don't even bother trying to judge sizes anymore. Robusto,
You know what?
double Corona.
And if I could get my wife on board with that, my life would be a lot better too.
Obviously, she doesn't care about size. She found you.
This is true, but I did keep her intoxicated for the first 4 years of our relationship.
Oh, that's hurtful.
Are you surprised, though?
I truly am not.
Sometimes the truth hurts, buddy.
Hey, you got to talk your way through it.
No. That's the thing. I'm not allowed to talk when she's around. She just prefers me in silence. I'm just her eye candy. I'm pretty sure she keeps goggles on when she looks too. So pretty much no saving me.
Wow.
I got nothing.
So it's that kind of show today.
You knew when you called me.
Well, no shit. Why do you think you're here? The fact that you talk about the fact that, don't know why we're talking about cigars just means you've been listening to the last 80 some odd shows.
That's why we've said on the Junkies 100 times, you're the West Coast us. Sometimes we don't even remember we have cigars with us. So,
Wow.
No, this is definitely a good, great cigar. I have had it a couple times now, and I feel bad I didn't pull up the blend and all the details.
I got that.
Yeah, we feel bad too.
So the blend, it is a USA Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Maduro in color. The binder is a Mexican San Andreas. Filler is a combination of Dominican Republic, Honduran, and Nicaraguan. Length 7 1/4, ring gauge 54. It's round, and they call this a double Corona.
You don't say.
Yeah, I give up.
Well, so this discussion happened way back when in the start of this podcast, but cigar sizes have become irrelevant because everyone has their own opinion on what said size is. You know, like Rocky's Robustos, for example, are in 52, not 50 by 5. I mean, so size is the only size that people normally stick to being correct is the Lancero at 38 by 7. Other than that, everything else is up for interpretation.
I would agree with you if I hadn't just added 12,000 cigars to a POS system and had to input one by one what everybody called theirs. And I actually had to wipe my POS system from the beginning. So I had probably 5,000 or 6,000 cigars in there. And I had to go back through and just delete it because I was trying to standardize the sizes and be like, all right, if it's from here to here, I'm calling it this. Like, I don't care what the manufacturer did. And that ended up just being like, I made it worse for myself. I'm like, screw it. I don't care. Because I wanted to be able to just say, you know, somebody comes in and says, I want a Toro, you know, something that's 6 by 48 to 52. I just want to call that a Toro and be able to quickly search it. And no, I just gave up. I just completely threw in the towel on that one.
It'd be better if they all standardize them with UPCs, but half of them don't even do that.
If we can get them all to put cello on, I'll be happy. That's a good start.
Dude, this stuff is made in countries with no paved roads, man. And you guys are asking for UPCs. Jesus Christ. What?
He does have a point.
I mean, hello. The average wage is $2 a year. I mean, what do you want UPCs? What the fuck are we talking about here? No? Too far? Too soon?
Nope.
All right.
There's a level of I'll be a shithead, and then there's a level of I have to work with these people for my career, and I'm just not going to cross that one.
Okay. Yeah, hey, just to be clear, that was me. That was not Sam. So there you go, Sam. We got the disclaimer, man. You're clear now, buddy.
I can't believe somebody actually took that for once. It's normally no, it was Sam.
Yeah, well,
So
it's probably the hat.
you really don't like my hat, do you? Very angry about
He
it.
does not like any headwear you wear,
I-
apparently.
I missed
I
the
know.
cowboy hat, man.
I mean, I was this close. Like, not today.
All
Not
right.
today, sir.
All right, I see. See where we rate on the level of importance to Sam there.
Well, it was our fault, really, because in the invite email, I should have mentioned the cowboy hat is required.
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
would
hat.
be my
The
fault.
expectation.
Yes.
Yeah, the expectation was not properly set.
Oh,
Yes.
You think we have expectations?
what we have is levels of regret.
So, Sam, do you want to tell the story of how we all met, or do you want me to have Larry tell it?
Oh, it's more fun if Larry tells it.
It always is. Lawrence, you're up.
So we met Sam last year at PCA, and we were all out there, learning the newest, latest, and greatest of the cigar industry. And the night before this thing starts, they do kind of a little, kind of an open house party type of thing. They have a couple of cigar vendors handing out sticks, and there's drinks flowing. I think there was even some appetizers, and we're just motoring around, checking things out, talking to people. And I see this cat. Now, you had the hat on that night too, didn't you? The cowboy hat? Yeah.
He did.
And he's rocking this hat, and he's talking to people, man. This cat's a talker. And that's what I like about him, because he ain't afraid of anybody. He'll go up to you and talk. He don't give a shit if you want to hear him or not. So we started rapping, hanging out with him a little bit, and I told these guys, I'm like, this guy's got a personality, man. We got to get this cat on the show. And besides, when he told me, yeah, I'm opening a lounge, I'm like, well, what are you going to call it? Just the Tip Cigars. I'm like, there's a bold son of a bitch right there. All right, let's do it. And then, so next day is the opening for PCA, and we see him walking around, and we're talking to him a little bit. And later in the day, the three of us got split up, and I'm motoring across the room trying to find him, and here's Sam, and now he's got his cowboy hat on again. So I walk up, and I ask him if they sold men's clothes where he bought that hat, and the two guys that were with him are horrified, like looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy, right? And Sam pops off something smart, and we have a little conversation. And as I'm walking away, I can hear the other two guys ask him, "Who the fuck is that asshole?" Sam's like, I'm not really sure. I met him yesterday. So, that's kind of how it broke down. We knew we were perfect for each other.
Oh yeah, it was a match right then, buddy. No,
Into that.
from my perspective, I'm going around trying to get pictures with different people, different shops and stuff like that. So put together like a little montage for the Junkies, I think it was, that night. And I walked up to one of you guys and was like, hey, you know, oh, what are you with? Da 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 da. And you're like, oh, well, we're the podcast. I'm like, oh, I'm on the podcast. Oh, we just had our back and forth. Then I feel like the next day, every time I was like boogieing from somewhere to somewhere else, like trying to get my steps in, one of you bastards would just like pop up and be like, hey, shitty comment, bing, and then gone again. I'm like,
we're shitty people. Ask around.
Well, like every time I turn around, one of you three was there with a smart ass remark, and I'm like, son of a bitch, it's trying to work.
And yet he continues to talk to us till this day.
Yeah, well.
You're damn right, I love that shit.
Well, I got bad news for you.
Uh-oh.
I'm the only one going this year.
I got good news for you. I'm not going either. So you're gonna be all alone. I'm sorry, brother.
I'm not going to be alone.
The shop thing is winning this time.
He's packing his sock with him.
Yeah. So, do you have a target date yet for open the doors?
I am shooting to try and get my occupancy permit either Friday or early next week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right on.
That point, it's just a couple moving some furniture in, mounting a TV, some like small final touches. But like last night I was there till I think 2:30 in the morning, painting doors and painting door frames and just the little minutiae stuff that I really hate doing. That's all that I have left to do.
Well, if he does the painting job like he does behind him, we're in trouble.
Listen, okay, this project was started, and then I was told that I was opening a cigar lounge, so I stopped.
Good answer. Hey, man, give us kind of the breakdown on what got you started on this project, because if I remember what you told me right, the location that you're going into was a cigar or tobacco or something store many years ago, correct?
Nope, not correct.
Okay, well, I fucked that up huge. All right, what do we got?
It was a Chinese restaurant, actually.
That is so much better.
No, but that's what it was right before. But wasn't there something to do with tobacco way back in the past, or no?
No, not from my recollection.
I made that shit all up. I was drinking that much at PCA, huh? Oh, wow, okay.
Yes,
I
you
may have
were.
told you that just to set this up and forgot about it. I've been known to do things like that.
Okay,
too,
well,
so.
I feel better about myself now.
So the location that I picked was actually, I went on and took Google and I put all the shops in the area on a map, and I'm looking around for a location, and I found a circle where everybody was kind of equidistant around the circle, but there was nobody in the middle. And so I had it automate and set a pin for the center, and it actually landed in the parking lot of this place. And I was like, damn, it's actually not a bad place. Because we're BYOB, I have a beer distributor directly next door. I have the liquor store 2 doors down from that. We're a state store.
Oh, yeah.
States.
I've been to
just buy
Pennsylvania.
everywhere.
I know.
So I got those. I have a golf course right down the road. High traffic from some decent areas that'll roll through, on their way to Pittsburgh. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, it's kind of a golden location. It's not a super high traffic road, 100,000 cars a day or anything, amazing like that, but good location. So I told my wife, I'm like, if we ever do this, this is where I want to go. And I hated my job that I had. It wasn't a good fit. It wasn't anything or anybody. I hated the job, but they paid me well enough to go and hate it each day. Finally, one day she comes up and she's like, so you're quitting your job? Oh, I am. That's good to know. She's like, yeah, the place where you said would be awesome, they have a now leasing sign out front. You need to go walk through, and if you like the location, you think you can make it work, you're quitting your job. And I still said, no, I'm not. She said, oh yeah, you are, because you're coming home a miserable prick each day, and I'm not tolerating that. So we fought a little bit. I said there's no way in how we were opening a cigar lounge, and then as normal, my wife told me what we were really going to do. So that's how me opening a shop came to be.
So hold on. Let me frame this right. Your wife made you open a cigar lounge.
I got to
even
meet.
tried to-
I got to meet this woman.
Yeah.
It's like patting you on the back with a boxing glove. Like, no, you're going to achieve your dream, sweetie, or else.
Oh yeah. No, that's very much how she is. I'm a little stubborn, and she knows kick me harder and I'll move. No, it's one of those things where I wanted to do it, and I wanted to have the business plan ready, and kind of the numbers ready and all that. And we didn't have any of that when we went to look at the place for the lease. We weren't ready at all. We didn't have the finances figured out yet. Normally you allocate some money to do these things. And it was like, okay, we're going to do this. Do we have money to do it? We already signed up. Like, we're past that point now. So she makes me burn the boats whenever it comes to doing things because I'm too analytical, and she'd call me logical, but we all know that's bullshit. No, I even tried to scare her off. I'm like, if I open a cigar shop, I'm going to call it Just the Tip Cigars, right? And she said, you call it whatever you want, just do it. That didn't work.
Shit, right on, man. I like that.
But the name worked, man. I mean, that PCA was my confirmation that I picked the right name. Day one, I'm walking around. Nobody has a clue who I am. I'm brand new. And I'm walking around talking to people. Day two, it was, hey, that's the Just the Tip guy. And I'm like, ha,
Gotcha, bitch.
Hey, I got you, bitch. No, I love it, man. It's been so fun. Even Steve Saka, we had him on the show, and he's like, that is the worst name of a shop I've ever heard. I'm like, yeah, but you remembered it. And how many shops do you hear a day? And he goes, no. He's like, you didn't end it with smoke or leaf or any of the standard 6 things that every shop in the country is called. He's like, so I'll give you that. He's like, people will remember it. It's a terrible name, but people are going to remember it. I'll take it.
There you go.
Especially coming from Steve.
Mm-hmm. So how are you gentlemen enjoying your cigar so far?
This is nice, man.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of flavor. I don't know if the power that I expected, being as dark, looking as it is, which, we've talked about over and over and over on the show. I would much rather have that flavor especially the San Andreas than just the kick-ass power of the old school Maduros from back in the day. So, no, I like this. This is nice, man.
Yeah, it's got some good flavor to it. It's got a punch, though. I'll say that. It does have a punch, but I'm not minding the punch.
Mm-mm. No, this is good. Greg, you all right over there?
It's
Greg.
It's more in your guys' wheelhouse than it is mine. I do like, as Larry said, and it's one of the things on the Maduros that we've been smoking the last, say, 10 or so episodes that we smoked. I like that things are blended for flavor versus power anymore, because I don't like a cigar that's going to knock me on my ass. I want to be able to taste what they intend. And it's one of the things that Saka has always done, and he does well, is either he or the person he has blending for him make sure that the cigar is always flavor forward, power second. So from that standpoint, I like it. I'm not sure yet. I mean, the flavor notes, I chose the wrong beverage, I can tell you that. Because I've got a heavy Maduro cigar and I've got a sweet tea, and it's not working together well. But
actually, chocolate milk, man. Chalky Moo. Always keep it as a background.
What?
Wait, back that
train.
Chalky Moo?
I get weird looks when I tell people one of my favorite things to drink when smoking a cigar is Dr. Pepper. Did you really just say chocolate motherfucking milk?
No, he said
Chalky Moo.
Damn right I did. I have
Okay,
5-year-old triplets. I have earned the right to call it Chalky Moo.
Wait, back the goddamn truck up.
Wait.
No
Whoa.
way. You don't just softball that shit in.
I told you my wife's an overachiever. I did not leave that out. I gave her the normal amount of ingredients. She made the triple batch. Okay? That's it.
Congratulations, you've made Scott speechless.
Yeah.
That could be the best description of that I have ever heard.
He's going for the booze.
I gave her the standard amount of ingredients. She made the triple batch. Oh, God. Has your wife ever heard you say that?
Shit, my wife tells people.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm making an executive graphic design decision. You're going to be getting a box with some bumper stickers and a T-shirt that says that on it.
Yeah.
Where I'm
Dude, I'll take it.
circumventing the boss over there.
Scott, you got to sit up, buddy. You got to sit
Come
up.
on. You got to breathe,
Come on,
man.
don't fall over.
Arms up, breathe, arms up.
Do you want me to pour for you?
I gotta finish off the vodka. Give me a minute.
Oh, yeah. Mix them together. That'll be a joy.
Oof.
Well, we know what happens with Red Stripe and
Hibbity.
what was
That's
what
all
was the
folks.
vodka you were drinking?
Russian standard,
That
sir.
one.
So,
Ooh,
Sam, how many square feet you got over there?
about 1,500.
That's not bad.
Just shy of 1,500. We're working on getting another. I'm actually negotiating a lease right now. I was hoping to have it finalized by the time we talked here for another 900 square feet above me as well. So we might have a pretty good expansion happening much sooner than I expected, and we're wanted.
Yeah.
But when you have an adjacent space that goes for rent, you can't.
Yeah,
let
that may
go.
not come back up again for 10 years. You can't pass
Right.
that up.
Yeah, as I was talking to my wife, I'm like, we're paying rent on this for the next year. We're not doing anything with it. She's like, why are we? I'm like, because I don't know if we'll ever get it again. So a lot of different things that we're contemplating for that space. One, I might just set it up as a podcast studio and rent it out by the day for people. So like, guys like you who get kicked out of your podcast home temporarily, you guys can just be like, come in. You don't need to bring any equipment. You show up, you sit down, you use your SD card, sit down, hit record, go to town, get up and leave. That's it. We'll clean the glasses. We'll clean up after you, that kind of thing. And then because the way the space is set up, if I do that, I might turn the front half into an editing area and set up a couple decent computers. So you can do that, then walk out to the front, sit down, edit your video, and leave all in one place with a fairly powerful PC to make it easier.
Wow.
Another thought is, if we get into wholesale or go like that, I can turn the whole space into a giant wholesale humidor with a small shipping area in the front of it, or the preferred, what I really just want to do because, come on, it's fun. I want to set up a private lounge up there and have, the game room and the lounge section and the bar up there for members only.
That'd be cool.
Right on.
Too many options. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet.
Okay. So we've talked about you putting Just a Tip together for a while now, and you've told us a few stories about some of the pratfalls you've come across as because you were doing a lot of this shit yourself.
All of it, actually. So I'm blessed to have had the careers that I had in maintenance and management and stuff like that. So, I've done enough project management to know how to do, a flow chart to get my workflow and stuff like that. But it started, when I met you guys last year in July, I was going to be open end of August, September. And the last minute they called me and tell me that the shelves for the humidor aren't going to be done. And they're doubling in price and they won't be there till November. So that hurt a lot. Ended up shopping around to different vendors. They were all in the same situation. Something happened with Spanish Cedar last year and just couldn't get the material. And I mean, no hard feelings towards anybody, but ordered them, got them going. Then I had to figure out, what am I going to do budget wise to make this happen? Because I just lost a lot of money on these shelves and decided, hey, I got this extra time to do the work. I'm just going to do the work myself. And instead of paying the GC and the contractors I had lined up, I'm just going to take care of it. That was all fine and good. I had a lot of, like you said, pitfalls, some stuff with I don't want to say disagreements because there's no bad blood, but some issues with the building managers not getting certain things done that they needed to get done. Like, I didn't have a gas meter until last week, which didn't help me when it was, negative 20 outside for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, and you can't do putty and paint in that. And that was the level, that was the stage I was at whenever that all occurred. So like that put me behind some permitting issues, which, look, they're not unique to me. Everybody runs through these.
Right.
That's the advantage of using a general contractors. They know what they're going to get into with these permits. I've dealt with the county in permitting on a commercial level, but hey, I'm running 5,000 foot of 10,000 PSI pipe. I know how to get that permit passed, no problem. I'm running 15 feet of a half-inch PEX pipe. I'm clueless, and they're not the same department, same people, so I was out of my element. I thought I was going to be good, and I just didn't know. So in this case, ignorance was not bliss at all, and I made some mistakes on my side, had some issues with architects. Just, it's the compilation of all the small things that held me up to this point to getting going. But, put your head down and just barrel through, just keep going. But, yeah, I mean, it just was one thing after another for a while, it felt like, and now it seems like there's light at the end of the tunnel. But I was talking to Mike Rosales from Remocraft today. He stopped by the shop unannounced, which caught me off guard. I usually know when those guys are in town. I didn't even know he was here. And we were back and forth. He's like, so are you excited? I'm like, I'm terrified. He's like, what do you mean? I said, dude, the way that this whole process has gone, I can't let myself get excited because I'm waiting for the next shoe to fall. Like, every time I've gotten excited, exactly 1 week after I got excited, it was just like, you're shut down on construction for the next 2 months. This happens, so there was a lot of that stuff. But you know what? In 3-5 years, whatever, when you guys are out in Pittsburgh sitting there having a cigar with me and we're bullshitting, we're going to laugh about this, about the fact that, like, dude, remember when you were worried about what you did? And that's the part that I'm excited for.
He thinks we're going to wait 3 to 5 years.
Well, depending if I can get another job anytime soon, it might be 3 to 5 years.
Larry and I can go without you. Us gainfully employed folks can go together.
Yikes.
Was that nice?
We look good traveling together. Here, honey, sit here.
All I'm thinking is 2 best friends in the whole wide world.
Hey, it's hard not to like you, Sam.
I know.
It's getting easier, though.
You know what? I'm going to let you guys go first. I'll come later.
Oh, will you?
Good luck
That's
with that,
what she
sir.
said.
Not at your age, you won't.
You as old as me, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Although I do drink more than you. So, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we had a guest on the Cigar Junkies podcast come on, and he said something, and I think it might be worth mentioning to you guys. His podcast, they found out that nobody ever asked stuff about them, and there was just a lot of like gray areas that you don't think to talk about yourself or tell people. So he started asking us questions on the Junkies, and it's like, oh, cool, he's right. So I wanted to fire a couple questions at you guys that I've listened to a good bit of your episodes. I know I definitely haven't listened to all of them. I'm not claiming that. Probably listened to 20. But how did you guys actually meet? Like, how did this conglomeration of psychopaths become beyond the humidor?
Wait. We are
the warden had to move some prisoners around one day.
we are high-functioning sociopaths.
Hence the 3 to 5 year thing.
We all met at Tobacco Republic in Loomis at the brick and mortar we hang out at.
Yep.
Tobacco Republic's been around 25 plus years. I've been doing business with Ron there probably close to 25 years. Scott and Greg, I think, both been coming in there about 12 years now.
I'm 14.
More like 10.
Okay.
I think I came around 13.
So, yeah, and it's the largest walk-in humidor for the Northern California area, definitely Sacramento Valley area. So it's pretty well known in this area, and it attracts a lot of people. And they've got a casual lounge that, we guys that just come in and hang out. And, we started seeing kind of regularly of each other. And there was a whole group of us that would, we'd go out and eat, back in the day, TR used to do a lot of events, both on-site and off-site. So, we got used to doing that kind of stuff, being part of that crowd, and it just evolved from there.
Nice.
Yeah. And then everybody got
decided to
camping tray equipment.
Oh, yeah, there was that.
And then real quick, I saw the greatest license plate that made me think of you and Sue yesterday. We're driving down to V-Cut in Nampa to go have a cigar before I fly home.
Okay, wait
and this
for it.
Land Rover blasts past us with the license plate, capital BOOSIE, bougie.
Well, hush my mouth. Are you so funny?
I thought it was hilarious. I almost wrecked the car. I thought it was so funny.
Was there a black guy in a cab driving and 2 white people in the back? It ain't that funny then. See, I
So this
saved,
one,
I
you
saved
bring
it
that
for
up.
you, Scott.
Thank you. Beaver break?
No, that doesn't even make the cut. Oh,
This is
so
just
Sam,
sad.
man, how long you been smoking cigars, man?
I think I started smoking cigars in 2008,
Okay.
but I was just like random here and there. Actually, it was probably before that. I started smoking cigars sneaking down to the river with my friends at like 14. We would sneak down there, get a pack of was it the Philly chocolates? The
Jesus
little
Christ.
5
Holy
packs of
shit.
Philly chocolates. We would sit down there. We would chain smoke the whole box each, throw fishing lines in the water, and just hang out and bullshit by the fire. And I did that for years, and that a lot of good memories just hanging out with the buddies. And honestly, other than the underage smoking of cigars, we weren't drinking, we weren't doing anything. Cops would show up, they were always cool. Just a pure innocence, happy memories kind of thing. And then fast forward, used to do a lot of motorcycle rides and stuff like that, and there'd always be vendors there selling cigars. And I got into acids of all things, and just like thought they were unique and cool. Smoked those for about 6 months, and then all of a sudden went, no more. And stopped smoking cigars completely. And then while I was in Afghanistan, my wife would send me cigars over there, and that's when I kind of started getting the appreciation for the downtime. I would just sit down, at the end of the day and just kind of, puff on a cigar, relax a little bit. And then got back from there, stopped for a couple years, and then hated my job. My wife's actually the reason I got back into cigars. I came home from work and I was just pissed. Just one of those days. She walks up to me and she goes, "Hey, give me your phone. Take this. Go smoke it. Shut the fuck up." Yes, dear. Oh, she handed me a book too. She's like, you can sit and read or whatnot, but you're not allowed to do anything. You just unwind, untether. And that's where that is what made me fall in love with cigars. Because I went from, smoking cigars while hanging out with buddies to it's my time. And, I was working 20 hours a day, a lot of days, and just come home, the rush of trying to get to sleep so I can get enough sleep. And she forced me to carve some time out. And, I kept my little journal that I started for when I'd go out and smoke, and I'd, jot down what I thought about a cigar. And it started with this cigar good, this cigar not as good. And, it evolved. I got more of a nerd into it and fell in love with the sitting down, not doing anything, just let the cigar happen. Corey gives me a lot of hell, my co-host on the Junkies, that I actually don't smoke that many cigars because I'm a fairly busy person, and I refuse to hang a cigar out of my mouth just so I can have a cigar for the day. Like when I sit down and smoke a cigar, I'm paying attention to it. I'm giving it love, I'm giving it respect, and I want to know, that I'm carving out time out of my day for this cigar each time I do it.
Okay.
So that's kind of.
So I have to ask the question. Hearing about 2 or 3 stories regarding your wife. Did sometime a long time ago, did you beat the devil in a golden fiddle contest and he threw in an awesome wife to boot?
Bro, I feel like it's the opposite, because as sarcastic and as quick-witted as you gentlemen have said that I am, I can't hold a candle to this woman. She's a badass, and I know my place, which is yes, dear.
I was
And
about to
don't
say, I
it
think
out of-
I think we need to get your wife on the podcast.
Yeah,
at
we
some
do.
point.
one of these days. Well, actually, she'll be out in SoCal beginning of next month. She goes out every quarter because her company's based out of Orange.
Oh, okay.
So way down south. So she's out there all the time. I told her, I said, one of these times we're going to go out there, and I'm going to go with you, and I'm going to drive north for a couple hours.
Couple hours.
Couple
That's
hours?
cute.
That's
You
cute.
mean 9?
Maybe you ought to get a globe.
If you're gonna do that, I highly suggest Southwest Puddle Jump.
Yeah, out of John Wayne to Sacktown.
Yeah, we'll pick you up.
So I did that drive in 2010 or 2011. So my brother and I, when I got back from Afghanistan, I had one thing I wanted to do. So when I left for Afghanistan, she left for China, and she went and worked over there for a while. She grew up, her dad does something with the government, and she's grown up all over the world. So she went over there to work. She said she didn't want to be around friends and family while I was gone. So when I came back, she still had a couple months left on her contract there. So she stayed. So my brother and I left for cigarettes one day to go out and get cigarettes on our motorcycles. We didn't come back for 2.5 months.
Oh, shit.
We left Pittsburgh, went east, hit the coast in Virginia Beach, rode the coast all the way down, all around Florida, rode the coast into Texas. So, Alabama, all them. Bounced around Texas, Colorado, Vegas, and then we went down to San Diego, and we rode the coast from San Diego all the way up to Washington State.
Oh, shit.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, we've done some miles on it. We did 1,294 miles the one day on the motorcycles. That was the most painful day of my life, I think. That was terrible.
Oh,
I'm not a motorcyclist, but Scott is.
yeah.
I'm very curious. What kind of motorcycle are we talking about?
So my brother had like a dresser, floorboards, all that stuff. I have a fat bob, so actually, laid back and
There you go.
Forward controls and all that stuff.
Harley?
Which
Yep.
when you're when you're on a long ride like that and you got forward controls, you're holding your legs up for that much time. So that was terrible.
Yeah, I got an 09 Road Glide. So, yeah, full dresser, floorboards and all. Ain't nothing like it.
That's made for the trip that we did. My bike is not.
Right.
But mine's actually a 2009 as well.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, man, I rode with a couple of guys from the shop from here to Shasta. And the fact that you did 1,200 miles, because I'm telling you right now, we stopped a couple of times, and my ass was fucking killing me. My legs were killing me just from here to Shasta. And that's with brakes.
For the most part, we did about 200 miles a day and kept it real easy.
Okay.
And we had a family reunion we wanted to get to.
Yeah.
And we got caught in something we weren't aware of. We didn't know what the high desert was. We had no idea.
Oof.
I mean, we don't have a relevant comparison here of it is June, it is 94 degrees, and you drive 12 miles and it's snowing and it's 28. I didn't know that was a thing. We came around Crater Lake and we cut over and my God, it was terrible. We had 3 days where we did 75 miles a day because it was 15 minutes of riding, 20 minutes under the exhaust pipe like this.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was bad. I'm like, it's June. Why is it this cold anywhere? Why is there 15 feet of snow by this lake right now?
Welcome to the West Coast.
That's right.
Yeah, it's special. I was not prepared.
So, hey, man, how long were you in Afghanistan?
I think total time was 9 months.
Jesus.
But, yeah. I don't recommend it as a vacation spot. It is not adequately set up for that.
Kind of figured that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, well, luckily you were there on the American plan, huh?
Yeah.
No, I was on a NATO plan, so take that how you will. If you're aware, you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service.
Salud, gents.
Salud.
So, Larry, your cup keeps making me smile. Squirrel. Yeah, I love it.
Dude, I have ADD so bad, I make Scooby-Doo look like a fucking genius.
Dude, I do like tater tots. They are good.
That was cute. Yeah.
Appreciates that about you.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, man. Most of my adult life. I realized very early on that if I couldn't control this, I would be homeless, living under a fucking bridge somewhere. So, I have good days and bad. It's definitely an interesting ride. I drive. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go.
I drive the people around me pretty crazy, I think.
Good. That's the point. Pretty sure I've got it myself as well, and I think it's like a superpower for us more than anything. Because we're all over the place, but when you can focus, you hyper focus.
Well,
it's glorious.
It can be. I mean, I do better when I have 50 things going on than when I have 5. When I'm down to 5 things, I'm like, yeah, fuck, I can do those 5 things later. I'm looking for old truck parts and, cigar accessories on Craigslist. Yeah, not a good thing, you know. Like my wife, you get to talk wife stories. My wife will come up behind me, and I'll be sitting in my chair at the house on my phone, and I'll have something up on Marketplace or on Craigslist. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're not buying that, are you?" I'm like, no, baby, I'm just looking at it. She goes, "Then why do you have a 20 text back and forth conversation with somebody?" I'm like, I was just wanting to see what they wanted for it. You do not need another project. I'm like, okay. So
yeah, I've got a house next door to me that we bought a couple of years ago, and that's proof that like I got everything like almost done, and then like when I was just about finished with it, I'm bored now. I can knock that out real quick. I can do that after work occasionally. It's been a while. It's not done yet. So yeah, that's the one problem my wife did have with this is she's like, look, when you start, you got to finish the shop in like a reasonable amount of time. I'm like, I know. And she's like, yeah, but do you actually know? Like, all right, I love you, honey. Yeah, she's right. You always are. That's why I come up here.
That sounds like my wife.
Equated to dollars, it makes a lot more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the easy way for me. If I'm like, all right, dude, I'm lacking motivation.
Yep.
All right, it's gonna cost me that much to be closed one more day. Yeah, no, let's go work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how that goes. So the shop is actually Pittsburgh proper, or is it an outskirts?
Outskirts. So we're in the suburbs called South Park, actually.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, we're in South Park, Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful park, county park that we have out here, and I'm right on the edge of that. So it's a good area. It falls, like I said, right in the middle of a bunch of other things. The only problem is we don't have a damn coffee shop worth anything anywhere nearby. Like it's a 15 to 20 minute drive to get a cup of coffee that's worth drinking. I mean, you got 2 gas stations. That's your only choice.
See, I'm kind of old school. I don't mind gas station coffee.
You obviously haven't been to Philly recently or Pennsylvania recently.
My wife's from Pennsylvania.
Sounds
I've been
like
to
you
Pennsylvania.
need to get yourself an
espresso.
Machine, yeah, an espresso machine and do your own, brother.
So that's I actually put a service window in at the front of the shop, and a couple people are like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "No reason." Because the way that I have my sales counter set up comes across, and then if I ever want to extend it, I can extend it over. And I left some plumbing ready to tap into there. I'm not using it, but it'd be real easy to tie in if I ever want to do like actually some coffee. I've got that small entryways actually set up with a positive air purge, so it's always under pressure.
Okay.
And my logic to that is, if your wife hates cigars, but she loves you and she's going to get you a Father's Day gift, she can come in, not smell them, not deal with them, anything like that. Ring the bell, open the window. She'll smell a little bit while she tells me what she wants. I go get it, and I come back.
That's tailor-made for my wife, because my wife was an ex-smoker, and then when she stopped, she became, I won't say anti-tobacco, but basically the smell of any smoke makes her feel ill. So she says. I love you, tiny wife. So one Christmas, she comes into Tobacco Republic, and Hanson was working, actually. So she sticks her head in and tells Eric, "Hey, my husband comes here a lot. Yeah, tall black guy. Yeah, that's him. Okay, here's $100. Can you pick out some cigars that he would like?" She comes out with like $200 a cigar. So basically, he dimed out my smoking habit. So Christmas, she's looking at me like, "You spend that much on cigars?" Yeah.
Damn it, boy.
And of course, my lovely wife, she just looks at me and says, "Okay, honey," and just shakes her head and moves on.
So mine was backwards when my wife found out what cigars cost. So she didn't care at all about me smoking because of the therapy side of things, and it was cheaper than therapy, right? So she would buy me these cigars from here or there. Well, I didn't know the cigars she was buying were like $28 a piece. She thought that's what a cigar cost.
Okay.
All cigars were $20+. So I get an order in of like, I'd go to Cigar Bit or Holtz or something like that early on trying to like find new stuff. And so I'd get like 40 or 60 cigars come in all at once. And she'd look at it, she'd be like, "How much did you spend?" So I tell her the amount. And she's like, "Oh, that's not nearly as bad. Wow, you got a great deal." And she'd leave, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I got a great deal." Because as long as I get a great deal, it doesn't matter if I buy, a box of squirrels. She doesn't care. But if you got a good deal on it, you should spend that money. So.
Oh God.
Yeah, as Greg has mentioned, my wife and I are bougie. More my wife than me. Yes, I'm throwing her under the bus.
Bullshit.
Maybe 10 years ago.
No,
But
no.
you guys,
Well, yeah.
are running.
You lost the bougie. You lost the not being bougie when that freaking Tiffin got purchased.
Well, no, when we first got together, I buy shirts from Kohl's or whatever, and she was like all Nordstrom's and Macy's and high-end stuff, and she said, "You know what? How many times have you bought shirts from there and they wear out in 6 months? Buy high-quality stuff, it lasts a long time, and you just spend the money." And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're justifying being bougie as fuck, buddy.
I am.
That's what okay.
So let's
As long as
fast
you're
forward.
okay.
Let's fast forward to the Hickory Bronze October.
That's Scott's motorhome, by the way.
Oh, I'm aware.
The second motorhome.
Dude, I'm so pissed you didn't bring the damn hat. I was really hoping I got to see the hat. while
You
we were
had to
talking.
say something, man.
I didn't have to say shit. It should be standard. You should walk in.
The
and do
level
everything
of
on the podcast.
expectation was not communicated.
From either side, apparently.
I know. You didn't have the cowboy hat. I don't have the,
Listen,
the
the cowboy
happy...
hat's right. I can go get the cowboy hat. It's right upstairs. I'm home. I can just go get it.
Well, yeah, I'm 40 minutes away from my home, so that probably won't work out.
See, one of us made good choices, and the other one's you. Okay.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh shit.
We're going to have to buy him a hat box, Larry, so he can carry that thing with him now.
Oh my God. Pillbox hat. One of those round hat boxes like from the 30s. Got flowers and shit on it.
Yep.
Dude, bowling ball bag. Get him a bowling ball that's sized appropriate for the hat, so he has to put it on a bowling ball, and he gets to carry it like a purse everywhere. And then you can put the red star on the side, the hammer and sickle. You can do the whole thing.
Oh, look, a black Russian. It's funny you mentioned pillbox hat, because I'm telling you, for my wife's 60th birthday, I am buying her a fucking pillbox hat, and she is relegated to the back seat of any car that I drive.
Larry, it sounds like that's a birthday party we need to miss.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, because I don't know how good a shot she is. I mean, she just may spray the whole fucking room. Got his ass.
Got him.
Yeah.
She was a rifle marksman in college,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of careful.
Yeah, but that's back when movies were still in black and white.
So that's the road we're going to go on, huh?
Look, man, when he said, "Hey, when my wife turned 60," and implied that was not going to be 35 years from now, by the way, I'm sure it is, because your wife is lovely and she only looks a day, maybe 2 days older than 25. Little lady, I'm on your side.
Good job.
Tiny wife, sorry.
Little lady. You were close. Pat her on the head when you say that.
I do that all the time.
I have no idea where I was going with that. I lost the whole thing whenever.
Put it to you this way. She purposely went gray. So my wife is all gray at this point. She's like, fuck dyeing my hair. I'm sick of this shit. Went to the beautician and just said, make it all gray. So my wife has gray hair now, all gray.
Wait, she paid to go gray?
Yes.
Awesome.
She's like,
That's
fuck
awesome.
it.
She embraced it. Good for her.
Exactly. And then my wife and his wife, basically, it's like my wife will say, hey, what's Larry and Sherry doing for the weekend? Talk to Sherry. Larry and I make no plans. We're just like, hey, we leave it to the wives. It's like, tell us where we're going.
If
Yes,
she ain't
dear.
happy, I ain't happy for long.
Yep. Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right?
Yep. So, are you going to be...
very quiet?
Huh?
I said, Greg is very quiet.
That's
today.
because this Maduro is kicking the dog shit out of him. Don't think it's not.
Greg doesn't have a wife.
I was about
Greg
to say,
has
Greg's
no
unmarried.
input.
Yeah, we've lost Greg considerably in the conversation.
Yeah.
So, hey, are you going to be at this shop 7 days a week? Do you have employees lined up? Where are we at with that?
So I went back and forth on that a lot, and I can't justify hiring somebody simply because I don't know what to train them on yet. I can't hire you for a job that I don't have. I have zero SOPs started. Like, I have an idea of what I want to have happen, but
You just got to kind of roll it out for a while and see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you could have two shops, a mile apart from each other, and they could be vastly different on the way that they're run simply because the clientele. And that's the other thing. Where I'm at, I have a very diverse option set of clientele, and I don't know who I'm going to get as my primary customers. So until then, I have certain things that I'd like to institute and do, but if it's this group, I don't want to, ruin my friendships and relationships with this group by putting in a role for this group and stuff like that. And it's that balancing act of like, how am I going to manage? I mean, it's customer relations, and that's
that's got to be 100% you for a while.
Right. And that's where it's just, I have to be there. I have to be on the front line, and I just have to, assess and manage it as I go. But yeah, we are planning on being open 7 days a week. I'm debating on what time I'm going to open, which I'm coming out on crunch time where I need to figure that out. But we're thinking we might open at 6 a.m. because the golf course is right there.
Well, you got the tea time, so that's true. I don't even know if you
There's a retiree section that's not far from where my shop is. And if I sell decent coffee and cigars and tea time, I can actually kind of have that going. But look, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, no matter what. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be awake anyways. So I have no problem going there. And worst case scenario, nobody shows up, and hey, for a nice change, I get to sit and smoke a cigar in the quiet for a little bit. I'll take it.
Good point. Unsolicited advice, of course, though. I would say you don't necessarily have to do 6 o'clock, because if the tea time's at 6, nobody is showing up at that time. Right. Get finished playing golf. I say, most cigar shops, in my experience, and I'm not telling you anything new, they usually open doors around 10. That's about right. Cats go to their favorite donut shop or breakfast hole, come enjoy a cigar afterwards. The biggest thing for me as a cigar consumer is I want something open at night, because that's the biggest thing. I want to be able to retire, because a certain cigar shop, they close up at 6 p.m. and it's like, the fuck, man. I want to be hanging out some nights till 9, 10 o'clock or whatever.
Yep. I always had a problem with that. Like, look, banker's hours are 9 to 5. Why are you closing at 7 o'clock? Because he gets off work, he comes straight to you. He doesn't get there till 5:30. You left him exactly an hour and a half to have a cigar and get the hell out and ship him home. Come on, give him a chance to unwind.
Right.
And it's our responsibility to kind of manage that, and that's why 6 o'clock is definitely the drastic earliest I would even consider opening, but 6, 7 o'clock, somewhere in there, I'm going to open there, because what it is if I start with this many hours, I can trim them back really easy.
True.
But once I have my hours that are this big, to get people to realize that I changed my hours is a real nightmare.
Yeah.
So it's always easier to cut hours off than it is to add them on.
True.
So we want to start with too much and knowingly put too much. So like, if I think 7 o'clock's a good idea, I'm going to be there at 6.
Right on.
And then, manage it down from there, because look, I know the guy that owns the place. He's a dick, but he's reasonable and stuff like that.
Yeah. Very cool.
But yeah, I mean, we are going to be open. The earliest I'll close is 8 o'clock. And that's absolute earliest. It'll probably be a 9, 10 o'clock on the weekends kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know about out there. I don't know like laws and all that, if they can get away with it. But like out here, if you got guys sitting around having a good time, and I, like me, if I got nothing going on, even when I was working at shops, if I'm sitting there and it's time to close up and everybody's having a good time, a good conversation, if I don't have to go home,
right,
we're just going to sit here and continue to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way our brick and mortar is typically, and a lot of them that I've been in. So, it just, the crowd kind of dictates that, and there has been a few times where it's like, based on the crowd, the person running the shop is like, yeah, we're outie right now.
Yeah.
We close in 3 minutes. Pack your shit up, hit the road,
Yeah.
And that's kind of indicative of the clientele,
Yeah, but there's a lot of times where, look, I got to be up early in the morning, guys. You know, because I was working at shops while I was working my full-time job too. And,
Oh yeah.
you know, I got to be up super early in the morning. Come 9 o'clock, we're going to close. But make that decision by 8 o'clock and tell them that's
Right.
Nobody ever gets mad when you give them a half hour to an hour of notice of, hey, we're going to close on time tonight instead of, 2 hours late.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care.
Because then that has people judging if they're going to go for, second, third, or fourth stick.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I go grab a stick, and now all of a sudden you're telling me you're going to be closed in 30 minutes. It's like, and I get a freaking Churchill. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And depending if you can smoke in your car,
Yeah, I worked Mondays for a while, right after I quit my job at the one shop, and we closed at 8 on Mondays.
Mhm.
I had to go get my son, so like I never got to stay late, and it was terrible. But once my son changed, his gymnastics schedule and stuff like that, what he was doing, then I could stay. And guys were like, I had to start retraining them. Hey guys, just so you know, I don't have to be out of here at 8 anymore. And that's the thing. Like for me to run the place by myself, whenever I had mine going, that's the stuff that you don't think to teach somebody either. Like, hey, yeah, you couldn't do it, and that's fine. And like you're scheduled till 8 o'clock, go home. You're absolutely okay. That's the job. Go home. But if your situation changes and you can stay, don't just assume that the customers suddenly know that that's the case.
Yeah.
Because your regulars, they talk to you all day. So they go, yeah, by the way, guys, I don't have to go pick up Nana anymore. I'm good to go. Oh, okay. I can hang out a little bit. Awesome.
Yeah, see, right now, I think you're at like one of the most awesome points of opening a cigar shop, and you may know better, but the fact that you are about to open a shop and you're about to establish the vibe of the shop, that's probably, to me, is probably the funnest part about opening a lounge. Figuring out you're getting your clientele to come in, get your regulars in, and start establishing shit, and building a clientele and a group. I mean, that just sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds terrifying, because if you screw it up, you screwed it up. There's a local shop here that, man, I used to love this place. I mean, I loved it. We would go in there, and I'm talking when I was in my teens. We'd go in there, we would buy cloves, we'd sit there, and he always had like a live acoustic set playing, stuff like that going all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's always somebody up there doing something, and it was just great. And it was a coffee/cigar shop. I went back in there. I was doing school while I was working before this all came up, and I would take Fridays off work to just go to a cigar lounge, spend all day doing schoolwork. So I'd go here because it was early, coffee shop, all that, and man, the customers have ruined the place. I mean, they've it's so uncomfortable being in there. They're screaming at the TV, and they're like, look, I don't care what your political affiliation is at all. I don't care what you believe, but don't scream at, Fox News for being too liberal. Calm down, man. Relax. Like if you're going that direct and that hard at that, you're scaring customers out of this place.
Yeah.
I mean, and you at the shop I'm talking about, you can watch people come in and turn around and leave. Like not even like come through the door, they make a comment before they even make the humidor, and they're out.
Yeah.
And and look, it's the owner's prerogative, and dude, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I hate the fact that I'm going to have to fire customers. That's a thing. It's going to have to happen. Where, look, man, Loudmouth Jerry comes in, and I watch all my customers get up and leave. Well, guess what, Loudmouth Jerry, I don't care if you're a great spender, man. We need to have a discussion about like your behavior.
Right.
I understand you're a customer, but I need you to act a certain way.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest things with when I laid the shop out is I wanted a separate area somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because too many of the shops around here don't have that, where if you're sitting in the main lounge and Loudmouth Jerry's screaming and hooting and hollering about this and that, you got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go but out.
Yeah.
Right. So you just have to leave. Well, I put a conference room in behind the humidor, beyond the humidor there. And,
Cute.
you have a place where you can go back there and sit and, you're separated from it. Or maybe we migrate Loudmouth Jerry back there with his two buddies and let them have the conference room, and the rest of us will enjoy our show,
Right.
Whatever it may be. But that's the kind of minutia. But as far as setting the vibe, that's terrifying, because if I get it wrong, it's real hard to get it back.
Yeah,
It's
I've
true.
seen. Oh, I was. Go
No,
ahead.
I was just going to go with one of the biggest things that I have found, and it depends on the lounge. If the owner's not working the room and setting the example, it really changes how that becomes. And it's like my favorite lounge out of state. The owner's hanging out, talking with us, BSing, knows all of us, knows all of our history, knows all the fun, but he behaves how he expects us to behave, and it just sets that example, and I think it really makes it easy to figure things out. But I also know what you're talking about, Sam, where there's been times where I've walked into a lounge and I haven't even bought anything yet, and I'm already walking out because I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. I'm not here to. I don't go to a cigar lounge to stress out. I go there to unwind. I work hard all day. When I'm done, I want to be done. I want to go meet one or two people that I know, or maybe I want to go meet a bunch of people I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my favorite thing about cigars is that carving out the time for yourself. But my second favorite thing is you could have Bill Gates sitting next to the most broke human being in the world. As soon as they sit down in those two leather chairs and throw their feet up, one smoking the Baccarat and the other one smoking the Unicorn by Dunbarton. Doesn't matter. They're equal. You both have common love. You got a common goal. And I love that about cigars. And it's the great equalizer. It puts everybody on the same plane, even if it's just for an hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're all there together. And I love that.
Yeah,
And
I've been to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry.
That's where the shop, whoever's working the room, so to speak, whether it's the owner, whether it's the tobacconist on duty, so to speak, they get to play referee, and they steer that ship the direction that needs to be steered. I've seen some really good characters in shops that I've been in that, man, they can take, if it's going sideways, they can turn it quick.
Yeah.
And you're just like, damn, that was slick, man. But it's kind of like a bartender, same thing. You got to be able to squash that and get a new conversation going, get something different happening. And now that's the thing that I noticed about you right off, Sam, is you're a talker, man. You can steer that conversation. That's why you're going to need to be the guy in there from daylight till dark for a while to just set that tone and set the expectation. And I don't see that being a problem, man. I think you're worried about more than's necessary.
Oh, dude, I worry about everything. As much as I give off that, I don't give a shit vibe. I am absolutely just in turmoil in my head at all times.
Well, it comes down to this. It's like you don't want anyone fucking with your money. Because let's be honest, when we break it down to brass tacks, this is about, money and profit. You're not running a soup kitchen, So it's like, I can't fuck this up. Because I'm, for instance, I'm starting a business right now, and, you get to the point where you start doing shit, and you're like, I can't fuck this up.
Mm-hmm. Right. I burnt the boats. Mm-hmm. I'm in.
That's it.
I'm done. I have no other life raft. I have to do this.
Right.
So I want to bring it up. We're all we're all pretty far into this stick now.
Yeah.
Greg, actually, dude, you're moving along on that thing.
Yeah, I've only got about 3 inches left.
Why are you powering?
That's because Greg sucks.
That's that's because I'm not doing the bulk of the talking. I'm just sitting here smoking and enjoying.
Fair enough. But now that we're into the second third of it, where do we all stand? I think, for me, the fullness came up on it.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Huge.
Now, I had the opportunity as I drank this Kroll vodka courtesy of Larry at the initial. And the cigar, the flavor was coming out. But with the Glenlivet and this cigar, it comes out awesome. The flavor's coming out. The toffee from the Glenlivet and the flavor from the cigar, it's awesome. I'm really enjoying this. I'm glad I ate before, because Greg was telling me earlier when he decided that we were going to smoke this. He said, hey, eat a meal before you hit this. And sure enough.
Well, that's my standard fare with this kind of Maduro, is that if I know I'm going to be smoking something that's heavy outside of my wheelhouse, the only one here that really probably doesn't need to eat is Larry, but it's like, hey, I need to eat. And when we did the show with Brian Matola and we smoked that USA exclusive from the 2021 release, I did not eat enough, and I was freaking sick to my stomach for the next couple hours because I'm like, this ain't gonna work.
See,
it didn't.
which surprises me about you because you are an experienced cigar smoker. And I don't know if it's just me, but I haven't yet to have a cigar that basically turned me green because I've smoked enough to the point where even a strong one, I just know I'm going to, smoke it slow and easy. So I'm not just hitting it all at once and it's not hitting me all at once.
Yeah,
and you usually do too.
I usually do too. It just depends. I mean, some days, I had a light cigar this weekend while I was in Idaho put me on my ass because I hadn't eaten since breakfast, and it's 4:00 in the afternoon. It's like, ooh, no. But it just,
a lot of people don't realize is as important as food is to prevent that, it's more important your hydration level.
Yeah.
Very true.
I drink a ton of water.
Mm-hmm.
So on days where I don't, I can feel like, oh, hey, that cigar has actually got some nicotine. But for the most part, it doesn't matter how strong it is. It's not going to bother me because I'm always super hydrated. Like I am legs crossed right now, boys. It's been an hour plus. I am dancing under this table. But, yeah. But it's just, hydration's like one of the big things for it. But what do you guys tend towards? Like, from what he just said, I'm picking up, Larry, you're the full body kick-ass smoker.
I smoke a range. But the Maduros, the double Maduros, that stuff doesn't scare me. I kind of like to prepare myself going in. I will say that the second third of this, the power picked up a little bit too. It's not over the top. It's not crazy, but it's definitely got a little bit of power and a lot of flavor. But yeah, I was glad I had something to eat this afternoon too, because of that. But I go back and forth. I'm in a kind of a kick right now where I'm smoking a lot of lighter stuff, a lot of Connecticut, just for the flavors,
Well, when you look at a Connecticut, it's, to me, there's Connecticut breaks up into 3 categories: semi-peppery Connecticut, creamy Connecticut, or nutty Connecticut. When I smoke a Connecticut, I usually categorize it in my mind into one of those 3.
Now that you mention that, that's funny. Right now, I'm more in the creamy Connecticut's. I want something that's got a good volume of smoke and smooth, because if I'm doing that, if I'm starting off with a creamier Connecticut first thing in the morning, I'm doing that with a coffee, and I'm a black coffee guy. No sugar. Very, very seldom do I ever put any cream in a coffee. So I want a nice dark, rich coffee, and those creamy Connecticut's go really well with that first thing in the morning.
I'll say one of the best morning cigars for me, because I'm with you. I smoke everything from the lightest Connecticut's all the way up to the darkest. It doesn't matter. I love the variations in it. But the Sobremesa Brulee Blue, I don't know if you've had that by Dunbarton, with twin engine coffee.
I'll bring a couple back for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want to try that.
I've only had a couple of Dunbartons ever. We don't seem to see a lot of that out here. At any of the shops I've been at in California.
It's weird. They have like a Midwest line, and from there east they do pretty well. And then as you go west, it seems to trickle, from what I've kind of gathered in driving around. Because I did a couple of weeks of just driving around looking at shops. And Dunbarton's tough because it's somewhat plain branding. Now, Steve Saka has this big name, but it's amazing how many people don't realize Steve Saka is Dunbarton. Like, it's the same thing, guys. If you guys like the original League of Nine, go get the Mi Querida blue label. It's the closest thing you're going to get to it.
Okay.
That's the closest thing to a League of Nine. If you want that plus a little bit more pepper, get the red label.
And I think that's kind of the nice thing about the 3 of us is none of us sticks to a particular category. Because I know for me, like your Connecticut question, for me, I have to have a Connecticut that has something there. A lot of the majority of Connecticut's, to me, don't have enough flavor anymore. So
you thinking like a Macanudo white? It's just kind of like, hey,
Well,
now what?
Macanudo White, yes. Rocky Patel's 7-year Connecticut to me is too plain. My lowest level of Connecticut that I like is the Green Label Grand Habano Connecticut. That has a cedar note to it. It's still there, but it's not light as air. It's where I'm just smoking for the smoke. I want something to be tasting there. So Connecticut's are hard for me anymore. That was my go-to when I first started. I, like you, did about 6 months of flavored cigars, and then I went into the big boy humidor and started smoking regular cigars. So I did a lot of Connecticut smoking in the beginning, and now my palate gravitates towards medium to medium full depending on the cigar. Like I like an LFD once in a while, but it's hard to go backwards now to the lighter sticks because it's like, how do you like that cigar? Well, there's really nothing here.
So what do you Scott? I mean, same question to you. Like, what are you going to right now? Like, what's your?
It depends on my mood. When you're talking about Connecticut's, my go-to would be the Perdomo 10-year anniversary champagne. That is
I love that cigar still to this day.
That's one of the best. One of the best of the Connecticut's. And then, second to that, but not no slouch, Greg was talking about the Green Label Grand Habano. And I've got a bunch of those. And it just depends on my mood. Some, in the morning, some days if I don't want to be too harsh in the morning, I'll smoke that. If I want to go full Lee Marvin, I'll go for maybe a Camacho in Maduro. Or Nicaraguan is not a Connecticut, but it's a little darker. But I'll say my line is, and not that it's a bad cigar, it's just if I want to punish myself, because I can count on my fingers how many I've had, are the LFD chisels.
Yeah.
Those aren't a game. So, if I have one of those, it's been a shitty day. I just want to do nothing and smoke this nice and slow. But just depends on my mood. Some days, my go-to is always the Nicaraguan leaf. But when I want to vary it up a little bit, I'll go, a little lighter, a little darker. It just depends on how I feel.
If you want a good punishment cigar like that actually has something good going on with it, you need to look into Black Label Trading a bit more.
Okay.
Those guys, they have a bunch of really good. It's got that punch to it, but it's got the flavor profile to back it, and they're not priced ridiculous. Like the problem with the Brule Blue that I told you guys, I think they're 18 a stick. I don't remember. I could be way off of, but it's a pricey Connecticut. Where the Leaf by Oscar Connecticut, that's a fantastic creamy cigar, all that jazz. The Perdomo 10th, super approachable. If I want something nutty, I'm gonna go with like the Patina Connecticut.
Oh, there
I
you
love
go.
that.
Yeah,
that is right now. That's the love of my life. The only cigar that I broke my rule of I'm not smoking my stock. I smoked a box of those. It was bad. Like I went full into those. But, when you get into that more punishment style and all that stuff, Black Label's got a great just array of everything across the board. Like the morphine would probably be good for you on that.
The morphine stands out. For me.
yeah. Now we got a couple of Black Labels from PCA.
That's right.
And I think the morphine was one of them. And I'm sure now it was. And I smoked that, I don't know, probably within 2 or 3 days of getting home from PCA, and then dug through my bag and found what else they had. And I don't remember what the second one was, but it almost looked like a Sumatra, but that was a great stick too. I've got the label stuck away someplace. I'll have to find that. But yeah, I was real impressed with those two sticks for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and then Roma Craft, the Neanderthal. My 3 full-bodied cigars.
Cool.
Like when somebody says I'm into full body, you can categorize which kind of full body cigar they are by either the Neanderthal, the Cro-Magnon, or the Aquitaine. If you take those 3 cigars and you be like, all right, take these 3, tell me which one you like the best. I can give you 100 recommendations just off of you trying those 3, because the Cro-Magnon there's a ton of flavor. There's so much going on with that thing, but it doesn't have a high nicotine profile, so you don't have that bitiness and that peppery, kick to it.
I haven't had that one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, I've never tried that one.
That's the cigar that that's one of the cigars that's responsible for me going from I like cigars to I'm a fanboy. Let me learn everything about this stuff. The Cro-Magnon it's super approachable. It seems like for the most part you would love it because it's not that super pungent. And then you get into the Neanderthal where there's a sweetness, but there's the pepper there to balance it. But it is fuller.
Yeah,
And,
I've had that. I'm really happy with that. That's a really good stick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, always fantastic. I like, and for whatever reason, I'm obsessed with a V cut. We can argue all day what's best. We're all wrong and we're all right. But with that one, I like to do a cross cut. So I do, cut it one direction, then cut it the other direction across that flathead on the top of the Neanderthal. Gives you a really good draw. And then the Aquitaine has more pepper than either of the other two aforementioned. And it brings that pepper to the front, but the pepper is the spice. So people hear pepper and they think of that bite and that pain and all that. And I disagree, man. There's a difference between white pepper, black pepper, cayenne pepper.
Yes.
They're all different. And, when I say pepper, it's the sensation that it gives me on my tongue, but the taste of the pepper in the Aquitaine is it's a great experience. And that one I really recommend. They have it's like a short Corona. I can't remember what they call it. That's my favorite one from that line too. The format, everything, just a quick, 35, 40 minute smoke, full body, end my day with that. And, this is a cask strength Scotch or bourbon, sitting at 120 proof. And that cigar holds up to this with no problem.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I think that's that's the fun of cigars is this balancing act of what seed do you like? Like, I'm not big on Corojo tobacco. I just, for most part, Corojo doesn't do it for me.
Sacrilege.
There's a lot of my favorite cigars that are Corojo though. It's how it's blended, but Habano seems to just be like right down the sweet spot for me. And then you get into your San Andreas, your Connecticut broadleafs, your PA broadleafs. PA broadleafs are ass kickers, but you can get some sweet ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a blender that knows what he's doing, is to put out one of those, because I think that would be real easy to go sideways with that leaf and get it where it's damn near unsmokable.
I believe that Neanderthal is a PA broadleaf. Got me wanting to check it real quick.
Well, it's funny. You say you're not a Corojo fan. What's your go-to when you want a specific type of leaf?
So this is my problem, and I have to come up with a solution for this answer that I haven't yet. I don't have a cigar. I don't have a go-to anything. Everything is contingent on what am I drinking, what am I eating while I do this. So like this cigar, I've had it a couple times. So tonight while we did it, I busted out the Flavier sampler pack. So you get 3 2-ounce jugs of whatever it is, and this is called a Tale of Three Whiskeys. So while we were smoking, I wanted to actually take, like this one's got the flavor profile on this is primarily vanilla, caramel, custard, and herbs. The other one, star anise, and cinnamon, stuff like that. So, I'm sipping on these while we're talking because I'm trying to put what's my best pairing with this cigar now. And to me, it's not work to try and pair cigars, but I put a lot of effort into it because I really enjoy doing it.
Right.
And because of it, it keeps me from having a favorite anything. Because I know that, with a smoked brisket, with a mustard binder, using a salt, pepper, garlic only rub on it, in my smoker, 225, 15 hours, with a side of potatoes and this and that. The cigar that I want is the Umagog. Like, it's perfect. It matches the smoked meat every single time. It balances. And I'm stupid on this stuff where I get way over the top. I'm OCD. I obsess on it, and I can't have a favorite.
All right, hold on here for a second. You just said some sacrilege to me, and I'm going to have to mention it.
Oh, Lord.
Shut the fuck up.
I baited you.
Mustard binder.
You haven't done it.
No, I am totally against mustard binder. I believe in the dry rub, and if you've got salt in the rub, the moisture is going to, the salt's going to bring that moisture out, and that, is going to have the spices adhere to the meat. I think the mustard is more of an unwanted, for me, is more of an unwanted kind of flavor profile. I want to, have people, when I do brisket or any meat, I want you to taste the seasonings that I have put together. And it's like, I feel like the mustard interferes with it. And I know that's common. I know a whole bunch of people out there who barbecue going to be like, are you crazy? Mustard binder is the best. It's like, you don't need mustard. If your dry rub has salt in it, the moisture and the salt's going to get together, and that's what's going to make all those spices adhere to your meat. Just a little aside there.
I'm sensing a smoke off.
My favorite binder to use is soy sauce. I decrease the amount of salt in my rub. I use soy sauce. I let that sit on the meat for a little bit, then rub it again, and I add my pepper and garlic to it.
Okay.
Takes the place of the salt. Fantastic. But I know what you're saying. But what am I going for whenever I smoke it? Am I going for family friendly? Because family friendly for me has brown sugar. It has the mustard, the brown sugar, and I sweeten the profile up so my kids like it.
See, you're kind of bringing together Kansas City and like down south, because down south is the mustard binder. The sweet is the Kansas City. Yeah. If you want spice, you go Texan, or you go with basic Texan brisket, salt and pepper. That's it. They don't even fuck with anything else. It's just salt and pepper. You throw that brisket on, smoke it for anywhere from 12 to 16 hours, depending on the size of the brisket, and boom, there you go.
Yeah, and they throw it on mesquite the whole time.
That's right.
When I'm making it for my kids, it's on applewood almost every time.
Okay.
When I do it for them, or pecan. Like pecan's fantastic when I'm making it for the kids. It's a neutral wood. It gives you a good smoky profile. All that. If I'm making it for me and my buddies, it's hickory and mesquite all day.
Hey man, you know what's really good for kids? Oscar Mayer.
Man. The amount of food that my kids eat, it's more efficient for me to make brisket than it is to give them hot dogs.
Bro, did you see the gorilla walking around earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 3 of those, man. Now,
wow.
his 2 younger brothers are not gorilla in my size yet, but my middle one, at 125 pounds in high school, ate his weight every day. I go to the grocery store, man. It was like I was feeding them army platoon.
We were talking. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about how we ate and stuff like that in high school, and just because we're getting into diet and like paying attention to that stuff a little bit more. And he said, "Well, how'd you eat in high school?" He's like, "You were always really fit." I'm like, dude, I ate like 6,500 calories a day in high school, all the way through. My after-school snack 2 hours before dinner was 8 hot dogs covered in cheese, microwaved, smoked, and then after it came out, cover it in sour cream and hot sauce. And I just cut it up and scarfed it every single day. Like we had a stack of, like you said, Oscar Mayer in the fridge, because I was told this is what you get to eat because this is what we can afford to feed you, and you eat enough. Meanwhile, I'd eat that with a half loaf of bread at the same time.
Right.
Dude, when I graduated high school, my old man took a bill to the wrestling coach that he'd written out. The wrestling coach was also the offensive line coach. And he's like, hey, here, this is what it cost me to keep this kid the size you wanted him all 4 years. So,
yeah, my friends have always called me a compact fat man too, though. Like I eat, I can put away food, but I don't stop moving.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's the key, man. You gotta keep going.
You know what our favorite expression is on this show? You want to know the best places to eat? Ask a fat guy.
Yep.
Yeah, man, you roll out to Northern California, we can point you in the right direction.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Oh, dude, I love sushi.
Oh, yeah.
We got it.
Dude, just north of San Francisco, probably 15, 20 miles north of San Francisco, some hole-in-the-wall town, my brother and I stopped. Walked in, got yelled at when we walked through the door by the guy behind the counter in Japanese. No idea what the hell he said. All I said was sushi, and he pointed to a chair. This guy fed us for 2 hours, and it was the most amazing fish I've ever had in my life. I've tried hundreds of different sushi joints since then, and I've never had anything that came close. Even Vegas, they couldn't touch this little hole-in-the-wall place.
Yep, those are the best places, man.
Yeah. When you stumble on those, that I'd say probably the 2 best meals that we had when we did that bike trip was that sushi place and some place in the middle of nowhere, Texas, where we walked in and we're like, I said, I want the country fried steak, 2 pancakes, bacon, sausage, and hash browns. And the lady goes, no. I said, excuse me? She's like, no, I'm not giving it to you. I'm like, well, what do I need to change? She's like, I'll bring you out the chicken fried steak and then we'll talk. And walks away from the table. It was this big.
You had half of it in your saddlebag, huh?
She goes, so before she does that, she's like, I changed my mind. I'm going to bring you your pancakes too. She said, but I'm only bringing you one. I'm like, I can eat 2 pancakes. She's like, I'm going to bring you one. If you want more, no problem. We'll get you more. The pancakes were this big. They're like this thick. So she sets this in front of me, and my brother had ordered the same thing. She didn't bring him food. She looks at him and goes, what do you want now? And he's like, not that. Like, we ended up splitting it, and she's like, that's what I thought you do. So she brought us, the rest of it. But what we were both going to order, we ordered for what I just ordered, and we split it, and we did not finish it. Like, it
man.
And the chicken fried steak was perfect.
Yep.
Like, that is one of those foods that I love, but you can, it's either perfect or it sucks.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, that's how my wife determines a breakfast place, is on their chicken fried steak. And on a dinner menu, if you have calamari on your appetizers, you better know how to cook that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want a rubber band, man.
Yeah.
I want, my go-to for deciding a restaurant's a Reuben. Simple. Everybody's got a Reuben.
Yep.
And that became my standard years, actually, riding motorcycles. We would just, every weekend, we would go somewhere to eat and come home. Nothing special, just go out to lunch, come back. Me and the wife and buddies, and we'd go. And I just started rating everybody on the Reuben. And she rated everybody on their club sandwich. My other buddy rated everybody. Like, we just all had our standards. So now, if you screw up the Reuben, I don't give a shit. If you got a $400 amazing Wagyu steak, I'm never coming back. That doesn't matter. You are not worth my time. You can't get a Reuben right, dude. You lost my respect.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Well, before we get way down into the rabbit hole, I want to give some love to the Cigar Junkies podcast. Tell us a little bit about the podcast.
It's a shit show. It's a train wreck every single time. That's what we do, though. It's the whole thing with our podcast is, we're the Cigar Junkies, but I mean, we say it in the opening. If you came here for an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place. That is not what we do. I mean, I have more knowledge than most, and I can help you on cigars. That's why I'm opening a shop. But we don't do that on the show. We don't talk about that on the show because it's supposed to be the lounge talk. I want, that's why we do the shows live. I want you guys to sit there when you got nothing going on for a night and smoke a cigar, have us in the background, you hear a funny comment, throw some shit talking back at us. Just like if you were in a lounge and you're watching TV and you hear them bullshitting at you, you fire off your comment, you have your little back and forth, you either stay engaged or not, nobody cares.
Okay.
That's really what we've built is it's a lot of slapstick comedy, a lot of, talking about Marvel and talking about any random thing that comes across our minds, we talk about. And that's the whole basis. It's just, it is what it is.
Right.
And we're not, you got guys like, the Cigar Authority, and you got Cigar Coop. You got these guys that have been doing this for 20 years, writing articles, doing podcasts, doing, look, I know cigars well, but I can't compete with these guys. They've known every owner longer than I've been alive. I know your place, and that's not it. We're not going to be the authority on it, which is why we do what we do. And we have fun, and we hang out, and Corey drinks too much and pushes too many damn buttons and makes sound effects, and I make fun of him for it. And then, but it's no bars hold. Hey, you're an asshole. Okay. We have fun on there. It's a good time. We have this next week, which it'll be after you. I mean, we will have already done it by the time you guys are this. But on Friday, we're having a night vision company come in to sit down with us because why not?
Right.
It's we had a gentleman that started a rewards company for Black-owned businesses. Had him come on. Corey's like, why is this relevant? I'm like, because he's a person that hangs out in a cigar lounge. That's it. That's what we are. Flotation pods, isolation pods. We had a gentleman on from that. We're having these guys from the night vision on, like, a golf podcast and a couple golfers. Like, we had them on. It doesn't have to be relevant, and we have a lot of fun with the what the hell kind of thing.
Right.
And we enjoy that. So, we play to what we are. We know what we are. We know we're goofing around. The problem we have from some people is they come in thinking we're going to be, helping you with cigars, and we will. Shoot us an email, ask us on the show. Like we'll stop being goofy long enough to answer you, but we're just here to have fun. And it's the one day a week where I got to go work on the podcast, but this is the most relaxing thing I do is stuff like this.
Right.
I love having this obligation to do the podcast each week because it's the one time I just sit down and go, yep, let's go. So.
All right, let the people know when you guys go live, because I've caught you guys, but everyone else doesn't know when the show goes up live. Because every now and then, I'll catch you guys when you're on, and I'll shoot a couple comments on, say what up, junkies. Hang out for a minute.
Yeah, I will say this: if anybody does stop by before I tell you the time and stuff, say hello in the comments. For whatever reason, Facebook is garbage at telling us that you're there. So if you don't say hello or say something, we may not know you're even there.
Right.
So
right.
always just throw that toss, even if it's an exclamation point or give me one of these. I'm good with that. Just throw something out there and let us know. And but no, we do 6 p.m. Eastern time on Friday nights, which we hate our time slot. We are fully aware that you're sitting down or you're getting ready to go out for the weekend, but that's the time slot we can make work every week. So that's what we do. Stop by on a Friday night, sit down, light a cigar. We generally a week ahead announce what we're going to smoke. So like this Friday, we're going to be smoking the Dad Bod. I don't know what we're going to be smoking the week after, so I can't really tell you guys. But and then we're up on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere else you can think of. We'll post it after the fact as well.
Okay.
So stop by, come see us on a Friday night, and the Facebook group for the Cigar Junkies. We always have an ad up there to tell you what we're going to be smoking for the following week too.
Sweet.
Appreciate it. Let me plug it, guys.
Yeah,
no
no
doubt,
worries, man.
No doubt.
You better be careful. You might get all 4 of us on there at one time.
That's the goal one of these days.
Oh, shit.
Get you guys all.
Be careful
all in
what
the
you
cigar
wish
cave.
for, brother. Be careful what you wish for.
We'll see around
Buddy.
3 o'clock. Greg is on his nappy nap, and you're still like
Yes, I
ass
am.
deep in work at 3 o'clock.
Oh, that's right, man. You fucking 3 hours in.
We're the West Coast. Me, I ain't got much to do right now, so
He's like, I'll show up.
yeah.
No, I want to get you guys out here and sit you down in the cigar cave, and then we'll see how you feel about whether or not you guys think you can keep up. Come on, I dealt with you in PCA. I got this, buddy.
Oh shit!
okay.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. Pump the brakes there, Junior.
6-pack, a fucking Red Stripe, and a bottle of Russian Standard. I'm all over it.
That's like having a live grizzly bear in the studio.
That has an electric shock collar.
Yeah.
Don't threaten me with a good time, boys. I'm not afraid. I'll go full Wookiee on you. Let's get it. Let's get after it.
Hey, you might want to have your wife watch a couple of our episodes to see what she's getting the family into. It's kind of like you joining the mob, man. You might want to tell her about the lifestyle before we get too far into this.
The lifestyle. Is there an upside down pineapple on the
Whoa!
Leave
Leave
it with his lifestyle talk, bro. I don't know you like
leave
that.
it to the guy from the Midwest. Start talking pineapples.
Midwest, he's on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm technically East Coast.
That's what they call that? All right.
Yeah, actually, I was talking to Mike from Roma Craft today, and we were talking about, he's like, people around here, he's like, they're surprisingly friendly. I'm like, yeah, I know, like, we're East Coast, but we still hold, like, mostly Midwest mentality. So, funny enough, you bring that up today of all days after I just had this conversation.
We've got your whole place bugged.
Bring it on, buddy. Yeah, that's I can't wait to sit down and smoke a cigar with you guys, because that's the
no
one thing
doubt.
at PCA we didn't have a chance to actually sit and smoke at any point.
No,
True.
man, everything was 600 miles an hour at PCA.
Well, you guys were flying around because you guys had like a short time frame. You were there. You were only 2 days of
2
it,
days.
2 days, yeah.
right? Yeah. And I had 8,000 people to meet. I had a list of things that I knew was not possible to get through, and I was just trying to chunk out as much of it as I could, running around shaking hands with every single person at PCA and trying to get accounts set up.
Right.
Hi, I know my name of my shop's Just the Tip Cigars, but I'm a real shop. Hi, I'm a real person. Can I please sign up for you? Why? Because when I called you, you didn't believe me I was a real shop. Got a lot of that. Trying to set up as a vendor.
Well, it was funny because, like, you had your list. We had our list, too. I think we only missed one appointment on that list going through everybody. That was our first time going, and I thought I knew what we were getting into based on discussions with our shop owner out here, yeah, not even close.
No, it's drinking from a fire hose, man. Just pick a direction. You have something to do in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Larry and I got kind of lost over at Rocky Patel because he had like live music and like free beer flowing. So Larry and I kind of hung out there for a while.
Yeah, it's a fat kid's wet dream, man.
That's the last day I was there. My buddy comes up to me and he's like, "Here's the deal, man. You have not stopped." He's like, "You did this all day." He's like, "And then you had meetings all night doing stuff until the wee hours, hanging out at the bars with these guys." He's like, "You've done that for a couple days." He's like, "Why don't you take like the last like hour of PCA?" He's like, "Find a chair somewhere, don't say anything to anybody, and just sit down and relax." So I did. I found a comfortable chair. I grabbed a couple beers. I sat back for the last hour. Like, you know what? What I got done is what I got done.
Yep.
Accepted it. Sat back and just watched the crowd kind of move around me, and it was surreal. It was like something out of a movie. Like, you know, when you see the guy fade out to like, you know, just defeated at the end, and he's just got the world spinning around him. That's what I felt like. I'm just watching everybody fly by, and I'm just smoking a cigar. Like, well, I'm done. You know, and it was a nice cap for the weekend for me.
Well, you know, when it was interesting to me, and you know, from a podcast side versus in your case a vendor side or a retailer side, is I was fully prepared that we'd walk up to booths that we didn't have appointments with and be told, "No,
Yeah.
I don't have time for you," because that's what I was told. And never once did we have that happen. We might have gotten the occasional, "Hey, you know, I can't talk to you now. Can you come back in an hour?" Which is fine because we know that they're all there to write paper. They're not there to talk to us and waste their time. So if you can squeeze in 5 minutes for me an hour from now, we'll be right back. It was just crazy.
I felt terrible because I didn't set any appointments because I didn't know what to expect. So like everybody's calling me beforehand, like, "Hey, let's set an appointment." I'm like, I can't. I don't know what to expect. I can't schedule this. I can't set appointments.
Yeah.
And then I got there and I walked up to people and I'm like, "Hey, when do you have the time to talk this weekend?" "Well, did you schedule an appointment?" "No." "When do you have time to talk?" "This." "Okay. All right. I'll be here." And like, I did a lot of that of like, "You don't have time to talk to me. Let's go." Or, you know, I sat at a booth for 30 minutes and smoked a cigar waiting on a guy to come over and talk to me because he said he'd be ready in 30 minutes. Okay, fine. Like, I didn't set an appointment. I'll sit here and wait happily. And I mean, there's definitely worse places to sit and wait than that place. If you can't find a comfortable chair at PCA, you're on your own, buddy, because there's 1,000 chairs sitting everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we came at it kind of humble, so we had enough good sense, common sense to know we walk over to a booth and cats are writing paper hand over fist. It's like, "Hey, we'll catch you guys when you guys simmer down. We're not going to just hop in the middle of you writing paper going, 'Hey, you got 5 minutes to talk to us?' Fuck no. You're making money. I get that."
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the difference between like the way you guys went in and what I did. I'm here to spend money. I'm here to give you a bunch of money, and I'm starting up a new account, and I want to do it based on the deals that you guys have this weekend. What are you going to do for me as a new account at PCA?
Right.
Yeah, well, it was a totally different mindset, too. Yeah, we were the opposite ends of the spectrum, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm in there. I'm all business and checkbooks ready in hand, but, you know, I'm greedy. So checkbooks ready doesn't mean I'm going to fill it out. And, you know, I went in there a little, you know, one of the guys that went with me, he was like, "Dude, you're kind of pushing it being the new guy here." I'm like, "I understand that, but I'm also not going to do what they told me." You know, I had a couple vendors say, "Well, here's what you have to buy, and here's how you have to lay it out in your humidor, and here's what you have to do, and here's what you have to do." And I just look at them and be like, "I'm not fucking doing that."
Right.
"What do you mean? Did you pay for my humidor? Did you pay for a shelf in my humidor? Did you pay for anything in my humidor?" Notice that all 3 times I said that, I said my humidor. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to be in there, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to be in there, here's what I'm going to order. And for the most part, they were cool with it, you know, and there's some other stuff that goes on the business side where it's like, okay, you know, I might pay a couple points, but I can go to this guy and buy your product.
Yeah.
I can do that too. So, you know, it's funny how that works. And, you know, I went in there knowing like, look, this is my first impression. The name of my shop's Just Tip Cigars. I'm walking around with a cowboy hat all day, every day. You know, that's going to be the standard uniform when I'm at the shop at all times.
And then you got Larry walking up.
That's where I'm always going to be, is that. And like, I know that I'm setting my precedent for everything that I'm going to do for the rest of my career right now this weekend. So like for me, it was very trying to have fun and soak it all in, but like I needed to keep the blinders on. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is my stance, and like, don't change it for anybody. Because, you know, you go to this vendor and you say, no, I'm not doing that. And you go to the vendor right next door to him and say, yeah, I'm doing, you know, fine, I'll do that. They're going to find out. This is not a big industry. Like, it is, but it's not. You know, everybody talks to everybody. And it's like, you know, so I had to have those stances and I had to make those decisions early on, which sucked because I don't want to be that guy. I want to walk in and just shake your hand and hang out and let's go. But I needed to set the expectation at the beginning. So it was super stressful.
What's the next event you're planning on going to?
Hopefully TPE, but maybe not even that, just simply because you know, if I don't have an employee by that point, I'm not leaving the shop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you know, TPE's on my radar to go. PCA 2024.
Yeah.
I need to be there. I need to get my face back out again. I don't want to go 2 years without, you know, walking around with just tip cigars and a cowboy hat and then think I was just some fly-by-night drunk chicken bastard.
2024 is going to be interesting too, because that is going to be March versus July.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, amen.
It was fucking hot.
Oh yeah, it's Vegas, baby.
Yeah, I'm not into that. It's cold here. You know, it's like 60 degrees today and it's June. It's cold here.
There's one thing about Pennsylvania I appreciate. I was there in September. September in California is brown and on fire.
Oh,
September in Pennsylvania is humid as fuck, but at least it's green.
Yeah. September, October in Pennsylvania is gorgeous. Like, you have the rolling hills and you've just got miles of the trees changing and all that. We don't really have a brown season here. You know, but you got to remember too, we get more rain here than they do in Seattle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the rainiest spot in the country is like an hour and a half or 2 hours north of here. It's not that far away. You know, because we get the lake effect. And we get the mountains that shield it and make it stay there over top of us. So when we get rain, we get fucking rain. So it generally stays, you know,
green,
pretty decent as far as that goes. That being said, it hasn't rained in like 2 weeks. So right now, I'm just a straight up liar.
Well, it's funny hearing another Pennsylvanian talk about the heat, because my wife's from Pennsylvania. She was outside Harrisburg and Hummelstown. That's where she grew up. And when it gets hot, you think she was made of snow, because she'd just be like, it's too damn hot. I'm just staying inside, turn the air conditioner up full blast. I hate this. And it's like, well, when we retire, you want to go to Arizona? Fuck no.
Arizona and Vegas heat is not the same. Like, that humidity is killer.
Yeah.
And it's humid as fuck because of all the rain here. And it's terrible. But at least you know what you're you know, I don't really care where you live, where you like, all that. Pennsylvania is good because we don't really have any natural disasters. We don't have any animals, for the most part, that are going to kill you or hurt you. We don't have any insects that are going to, you know, we got 2 snakes that can hurt you. Neither one is particularly deadly. I mean, they can be, but they're generally not. We don't have any insects that are going to kill you. We don't have any natural disasters that are going to get you, except for maybe, you know, a tornado drops and bounces, because that's what they do here. They hit somewhere and that's it. So they hit one spot 100 meters by 100 meters, and that's the end of it. So I'm good with not having wildfires, and I'll take my shitty weather. I don't have jaguars and shit running around. I'll take my shitty weather. I'm okay with that. I'm good with we got shitty weather all year long. It's either humid as hell or cold as hell, and that's it. I'm good with that. Why? Because nothing here's trying to kill me or my kids.
We're gonna send him a stuffed jaguar. Look, kids, Uncle Larry got you a jaguar.
Don't think we won't. We've gotten Scott a stuffed donkey, and Larry's got a stuffed goat and a stuffed sheep.
I don't have a stuffed donkey. I gave Larry a stuffed donkey.
Oh, that's
and it
right.
was promptly returned to him in the puppy papoose.
You say this as I stare at your beaver all episode.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey! I thought the tablecloth helped that.
Squirrel.
No. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, dude. Your tablecloth ain't hiding nothing. Scott keeps his beaver on display.
Oh.
Larry keeps his on his chin.
Nice beaver.
Oof.
Oh. Hey, you're a funny guy.
Hey, you're a funny guy, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, what's so fucking funny, huh?
Yeah. Explain to me
if
why
you guys-
I'm funny. Smart ass.
Yeah. Yeah, why is it funny? What? Why is it
Yeah.
funny?
Yeah.
If you guys haven't tried Smoke Wagon Bourbon, make sure you give these guys a shot. They're
Oh, right
fun.
on.
They have the right balance of like heat and sweet. You know, and if you're a bourbon guy, you know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
You had me at bourbon.
Yeah. It's that's one of the reasons I'm so excited to get it open. There's a whiskey and scotch group that wants to do events at the shop once a month. They want to do a set like this date every month. They want to do an event, and these guys roll up in force.
Oh,
I mean, the
sweet.
one guy, I went to one of their events. The one guy brought 8 Octomores, and I was like, I think that the cheapest Octomore starts at like 300, bud.
Correct.
He's like, yeah. And I'm like, you brought $2,000 worth of whiskey to share it. He's like, oh, I'm going to drink $2,000 worth of whiskey today. Don't worry about that. Okay.
I've been on a waiting list for 4 years to be able to get an Octomore release.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
These guys, when they show up, Yeah, and that actually one of the things for the conference room, the reason I'm doing a conference room table back there is so those guys can show up and we can actually give them a key where they can close their whiskey off. Because, I mean, they usually rent out hotels so that they have enough space to keep the whiskey for the 30 guys that show up. Like, it's crazy. They show up and they're for real.
Nice.
So I'm excited for these guys, not to be greedy, but like, hey, just give me a sip of this one. I just want to try. You know, I haven't had Macallan 25 yet. I want to give it a shot. I want to see what it's like. I'm not a big Macallan guy, but I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Glenlivet, I love Glenlivet. It's like the right amount of friendly. It's simple enough that anybody can drink it, but it's got enough complexity that anybody can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
This
That's
is-
a good description.
One of my favorites right here, the Glenlivet Rum Single
Yeah, the Caribbean,
Caribbean
Reserve.
is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Never had it actually. I
You
didn't
should
know.
try it.
It's delightful.
Yeah. Most likely being here in Pennsylvania, we can't get it, so there's that. Because it's pretty bad around here.
You
Because it's
know
a state
people.
System. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, things can be arranged.
Yes.
Larry has a UPS account.
Wow, just throw Larry under the bus on that, eh?
Hey, you know, we're just shipping stuff illegally through UPS, don't you know. Came from
What was
Canada. Came from Canada, eh?
Hey, right? Oh, they're fucking A. Dude, I worked for a Canadian company, and my wife thought it was the funniest thing in the world. I have no idea why it bothered me, but those sons of bitches could not say my name. I don't have a complex name. It is not hard. You know, Scott, Larry, Greg, Sam, right? These are normal names.
Right?
Hey, Sam, can you... What? Hey, Sam. S-U-M is Sam. I'm Sam, bro. Like, you make the A sound for everything else. You can make the A sound for same. If can
Motherfuckers,
call me
you
Sam-
have in your fucking country name twice. Figure it out.
Right? A, right? Like fucking A, Canada. You and AAA.
That was good.
AAA.
Yeah, I like that.
AAA. But no, they used to drive me nuts with that shit. Oh. It's like,
man.
how do you fuck up my name?
Samuel.
Oh, I get Samael occasionally, which is not hard, you know. Samwell, I'm like, okay, fine, you know. But man, it used to piss me off. And my son, I'm named after my grandfather. My son's name is my grandfather and her grandfather, so he's Samuel as well. And he hates Green Eggs and Ham. He hates that book. And so did I. And I still can't tell you why I hated it as a kid. But his immediate just distaste for this book because it was making fun of him made me so happy because I'm like, oh, he is mine. I thought he was good looking, so he wasn't, but he is.
Wow. The gorilla is feverishly scribbling notes in here.
He's like,
I can't wait.
That's okay. Why am I named Anthony James?
Why are you named Anthony James? Lawrence?
Because someone thought AJ's gonna stick. I shut that down at the age of 2. That's
Yeah.
not my name.
Yeah, it's not even.
Not even Tony. Someone tried Tony. I'm like, fuck off.
At 5.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, shit.
Oh, so you're an Anthony.
Anthony.
Don't call me. I am Anthony. Damn it.
I didn't. I 2-year-old me didn't get it. Why are you trying to call me? That's not what you named me. Leave me alone.
Anthony James was going to be AJ. And nope, never did it.
The only person, because he was so much older than me, that I couldn't give shit for calling me anything but Anthony was a fucking Charlie Cagle. Anthony. Every fucking time he had some other fucked up way of saying my name. And it's like, you fucking old ass man, I love you, but god damn it.
This is a guy who's old enough to be my father, so whatever
I can't
he
get
had to
angry
say,
at the
the
man.
kids had to go along. But yeah, we shortened the other two. I got a Christopher and a Patrick, that are Chris and Pat. No big deal. We couldn't go to Tony with him. He wasn't having it.
Yeah. So we decided we were going to call him Samuel, and I was like, we're not calling him Sam because this confusion shit's not happening. She's like, well, what do we? So he's Sammy, and I'm Sam. Well, now he's starting to rebel against Sammy, which is fine. I hated being called Sammy too. And then my daughter's names are Talia and Charlotte. So Talia, there is nothing. You call her Tally, but she hates that, so she's Talia. My other daughter, Charlotte, she's Charlie Rose. Her name's Charlotte Rose, so we call her Charlie Rose.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she's Charlie Rose. And but it's still a long ass name. Like, why did we do this? Why couldn't we have just been like Jen, Brittany, Sarah, easy names? No, we had to make it complicated.
Yeah, when I was born, it was between 3 names. They were going to name me after the doctor. And the doctor's name was Lawrence William Scott. So Lawrence, they're just like, sorry, Larry.
That's a
terrible.
shitty name.
Yeah. And then it was William, but my grandfather's name was Willie. So it's like, Willie? Ooh, thank God they did not go with Willie.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, Scott, that's what it is. And I'm grateful. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
But now we've got the Mr. Scoot.
Leave my housekeeper out of it.
Housekeeper, did you catch that? But he's not bougie.
Bougie
Well, I don't-
as fuck. That's what I heard.
I don't have a housekeeper now.
That's because you fired her.
You cruel bastard. Your hard times did not affect that woman. That's on you. You're going to be bougie, be fucking bougie, and you stand up and you man up. Jesus Christ. No, Mr. Scott not here. No.
No, Mr. Scoot.
Mr. Scoot.
Mr. Scott not here. No. No, you bougie
I clean. No, thank you. I clean.
I clean.
Leave my housekeeper alone.
Hey, Gorilla, at
He had
least
to
you
fire-
get the reference. Thank you.
He had to fire the housekeeper to make the motorhome payment.
Don't laugh.
I'm not wrong. That's why I said it.
We have some Lucy. We have some splaining to do.
Yeah, that and my wife's love of leasing like German cars.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
not
not
saying
bougie
anything.
at
I
all.
have a German car.
You're not helping your case.
Yes, German.
I have the original German car.
The Germans.
Yeah, he has a pre-Hitler German car.
Yes, I do.
What's that, a Prius?
No, I have a Volkswagen.
Oh.
But not a cool Volkswagen.
Excuse me.
Not a 63 Beetle ragtop,
What I should have said was a German luxury car.
Yeah. She likes the Audis.
No. Worse. Bowel movements. Bavarian Motor Works.
Jesus Christ. Hey, man, I drive a Ford.
Found on road dead, fucked over, rebuilt Dodge. Pick one.
Ooh.
I have a 1990 F-250. I have a 2002 beat-ass Yukon. And
You got kids. What do we expect?
I've got a 2020 Subaru because it was cheap. That's what we got. I got one for work, one for hauling the masses, and one for going far. Problem solved.
So
I
you
ain't
have
taking that Yukon more than 20 minutes.
So you have a Subaru. Do you have a bumper sticker that says "Mean people suck and coexist"? And I'm with her.
No, it just says I like scissors.
Wow.
You left out one.
Which one?
You left out the Biden-Harris 2020.
Oh, shit.
So you guys were
Bernie
talking about
2020.
managing the lounge and stuff like that, right? Like how like to stop like the rough conversations and all that.
Here it comes.
You know, like when some asshole randomly throws up Biden Harris 2020 at like, you know, a shop owner. As an example, pizza. Anytime and try this out because it works really well. An old head taught me this. Anytime the conversation's getting crazy, just look at the room and just say, Larry, what's your favorite kind of pizza? Like,
Start a fist fight over a whole different conversation.
Oh, yeah.
no, but like imply that you're gonna order it, and if it's violent enough, order the fucking pizza. But
Yeah,
for the
but
most
see,
part, like,
in our shop, that can come across as a problem, see, because some motherfucker will come up with, oh, well, I like a Canadian bacon and pineapple pizza.
And then the fight's on.
motherfuckers put avocados on everything anyways out there. It don't matter. You're sticking avocados on it for some reason somehow.
You're
guys will
kind of
find
not
one.
wrong.
Yeah, he's got a point. He definitely has a point.
I want to hate the whole avocado thing, but those fuckers are tasty.
Yeah.
They're really good. Pisses me off. Like, if I need a quick snack, I can just eat an avocado with a spoon and I'm full.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with avocados.
Yeah, but like, do we really need to charge $18 for avocado toast? Like, that's a bit much.
Yeah, you lose me at avocado toast.
No, you're not a fan?
No. And my wife loves
Dude.
that shit. It's like avocados belong on tacos, burritos, tostadas, and by themselves is just fine, and an occasional salad.
Don't forget the guacamole.
Yeah, oh, fuck yeah.
Piece of Wonder Bread toasted, 4 strips of bacon, couple pieces of a fresh avocado, free avocado on there, and then take 2 over easy eggs, put them on top, a little bit of hot sauce, pop the yolk, let it fall down through, fucking hammer it out. That's how you do avocado toast. You don't just put avocado on goddamn toast.
I like
Nice
what he's
job
talking
there,
about.
Dagwood.
Wow.
Now, was that too much for you, Larry?
No, I'm
Too
good.
much.
Dude, look at me. I am 6 foot, 300 pounds. That is not too much for me, sir.
I was like, wait, why are you the one who rolled your eyes?
He'd look at avocados and goes, "That looks stupid. Give me one." Don't lie. I do the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you looked in a mirror lately, you bastard?
Why? I have you.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, guacamole and brisket and egg on toast, fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Take that day old brisket, shred it up, mix it in.
Warm up a couple of tortillas on the flat top, make yourself a breakfast burrito.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah,
Or brisket chili. Oh,
dude. Brisket chili, brisket tacos. Oh my god. So we forgot to pull some out for dinner the other day. And I didn't want to just have some, you know, hot dogs and mac and cheese or kibasi and mac and cheese, like some pre-canned, we do it all the time. So I told my wife, I'm like, I'm going to make something different. So I threw the smoker on, got it smoky, didn't even care what the temperature was real fast. Threw a bunch of hot dogs in a pan, and I made white trash burn ends. Dude, it was really good.
So, dude, you have just validated something that I shared with Scott and was completely shut down. I watched
and you
a guy.
offended Scott to a degree that I don't think you can recover from.
I watched a guy take
a
bologna. I watched a guy take bologna and cube that up and make burn ends out of it. It looked awesome, and I completely got shut down right away because I'm not bougie. I'm poor.
Hold on, I tried that. It's fucking gross. I tried the bologna one. It was gross.
Okay.
No offense.
None
I might have
taken.
done it wrong.
Oh, no, plenty of offense. You need your ass kicked. I'm talking to you. Yeah, bologna burnt. No. Oh, hell no. I'll put it this way. Hold on. I'll put it this way. So, in less than a week is Larry's lovely wife, Sherry's birthday. So, I'm going to ask you a question, Lawrence. And you can chime in if you will, because that's your mom, Gorilla.
Nope. I'm already.
No.
I don't know where we're going. I'm just going to preface with nope.
Trust me. Just trust me. I'm just asking a question here. So, if I show up on Friday with my little tinfoil thing of that I usually cook, of the burnt-ends that I usually cook, the pork belly, slathered in barbecue sauce, lovingly placed inside this pan, and give it to you with a bow and say, tell Sherry I said happy birthday. Versus, hey, Larry, I've tried something new this week. Here are bologna burnt ends and put a bow on it. What do you think your wife's reaction's going to be?
They take your life in your hands, brother.
Exactly.
Right?
She'd probably look at it and go, do we need to welfare check for Scott? Do we need to send a deputy over? Is he okay? This seems like a cry for help.
You think that's the only cry for help?
My fucking life's a cry for help.
The new dog was a cry for help, okay?
You guys are forgetting
Leave
too,
my
like,
dog alone. Shit. It's the second episode where you guys are fucking with my dog.
Stop kicking
Wait
the
a minute,
dog.
what
Go
kind
after
of
the
dog do you
motorhome.
He's got a
what
mini
kind of dog do you have?
mini Aussie.
Oh, okay. I have one of those. So she's
See?
fucking awesome. Like the best dog I've ever had.
Does yours yap at 24 hours a day and jump on people's nuts?
Yes, she's a fucking Aussie. If you don't run her enough, she's an asshole. She's also the most loyal dog and the smartest animal I've ever met in my life.
Ta-da.
It's like if she's barking, it's because she's bored. But we set up. So we've had Aussies for 15 years now. So like that's our breed. We like having a smart dog. We have a pit bull too. She's sweet as hell, but she is dumb as fuck. I hit her with my truck. That's how we got her. I was on my way home from work and I hit her with my truck. That's how I ended up with this damn dog. 2 weeks later, we were supposed to pick up another Aussie. We ended up keeping this damn thing. But we've always had Aussies. So like, there's games we set up. Like our dogs don't just get food. Like they have to get to their food. They have to
A
find
job.
their
You
food.
got to
Like,
give the Aussie a job.
yeah. If you don't keep them busy, man, and I grew up on a horse farm. I've dealt with working dogs my whole life. If you don't keep them busy, they're gonna fuck your stuff up.
When you gonna get that dog something to do?
We do. We have like the little puzzle thing where we put her treats in. She's so fucking smart. She usually solves it in about half an hour. Then we got the little ball that we put treats in, and then she sits there and fucks with that for an hour or two. She likes the sun. When I go out and smoke a cigar, she knows when I'm going to. She starts following me. She'll go out to the balcony. We'll hang out a little bit, and when she's ready to go in, she'll look at me. I'll look at her and say, go back and see Mama? Bark, bark. Okay. Off you
Shits
go.
on the balcony and in she goes.
Best command I ever taught my dogs: go get Mama. So we did it. We would sit her at the top of the stairs, me at the bottom of the stairs, and she would call the dog, and I'd say, "Go get Mama." And you do that like 20 times. That's all it takes to teach an Aussie anything.
Oh, yeah.
And then they learn go get Mama. Well, she'd say, "Go get Dada." Well, when they would come down, I would delay giving them the treat, so she can't say, "Go get Dada." It still doesn't work. 3 Aussies, not one of them has it stuck with, but go get Mama sticks real well.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter where they are. But no, dude, if you have, I don't know if you have a yard.
Oh, yeah.
The auto feeder for the tennis balls worth every penny. Where
Oh,
the
really?
dog comes over and they drop the tennis ball, that you have to teach them to drop the tennis ball in it, and then it has a randomized timer, so it's not the same every time, and then it pitches the ball. So the dog can play fetch with itself.
Oh, shit. I need one of those.
Buy that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll look at my Amazon tonight and I'll find you the link.
Sweet.
And,
Send it to me, baby.
He can hit you up on Messenger
That
or
too.
text it to you.
Yes, Greg, he can hit me on that, but I just gave him my email. Is that okay?
You just gave
But
the
he's
whole
like, "I'm
the whole
bougie, and I
podcast
want
committee
them
your
to
email.
me."
To be fair, you did just give the entire internet your podcast email. That probably wasn't the smartest idea.
Eh,
Why not? That's
Yeah.
the point. That's why
Yeah.
he didn't tell him that. He didn't tell him. Hold on, let me read his other email address. The one he doesn't want him to. No.
Please send your inappropriate pictures to.
Hey.
I hope you get so many dick pics.
Well, I was gonna bleep it out, but now
Well, this isn't very nice.
The highlight of having Steve Saka on our show, well, the 2 highlights. So we have a question that we ask everybody that comes on the Junkies. I'm going to ask you guys, even though we're not on the Junkies right now.
No worries. Shoot.
You're going to have time to prep for it because I'm going to tell you the story about Saka.
Okay.
So 1, apparently he receives a massive amount of dick pics every day. So go back to that episode. It's fucking hysterical. He's like, yeah, I get a lot of them all the time. He's like, thank God Messenger now has like approved like to view it or not. He's like, I get to see a lot less. He gets them on Messenger and Instagram. So Greg, seriously, stop sending them to Steve.
Why would I stop? Eventually he'll pay attention. Not that it's impressive anyway.
I was gonna say, not
He's
unless
like,
he has
"Thank
his
God
glasses
this
on,
new
he
iPhone
won't.
zooms into the moon." And then the second highlight of it was, so we ask everybody that comes on, you have to pick one person from the industry. Do you guys remember MTV had Celebrity Deathmatch, the claymation Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yes.
You have to pick who you go up in a Celebrity Deathmatch with somebody from the cigar industry. Who would you go for? Steve picked Rocky Patel, and I was like, damn, like going there. We had somebody else pick Omar from Fratello, and I was like, you're dumb. That dude's like 7'1".
Yeah, he's huge.
He doesn't even have to be good at fighting. He can reach you over there. Like, he just Stretch Armstrong your shit. I picked Coleman from Sinistro simply because he would beat my ass, but it would be like fun to watch. Like that dude is built as hell. He would fucking wipe the floor with me.
I need to start listening to their podcast more.
It's fun.
Indeed. Yes.
Hey, welcome to Cigar Podcast. Real quick, who do you want to fight?
So this is the
Well,
question.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna throw my answer out there right now.
Go ahead.
Juan from Don Doroteo.
Why?
Why? Because he was Air Force? You don't think he can fight?
I don't think he can. All he knows how to do is sit and push a button on an aircraft.
Wow.
How'd that feel, Juan?
Wow.
Hold on, wait. I one little comment for you. I was Air Force for 10 years.
That explains a
Oh,
lot.
good. I'm picking Samuel from Just the Tip then.
Go for it, buddy. By the way, after the show, I'll send you the list of the 3 professional fighters that are my cousins.
Think I'm worried?
So there's that.
It's not like, hey, it's not like Greg has to worry. He's going to go down during the fucking instructions.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I don't need him to go down on me, okay?
Oh.
Yeah, there's Gorilla. Scribble, scribble, scribble.
You guys need a gorilla cam. Like you need.
We're working
We're
on
working
it.
on that.
We're working on it.
And we're
You
working
need
on
to grow
gorilla
it.
merch.
Scott, so who is your battle of choice?
Who have you got?
No, you got to
Pick the industry.
Anyone.
I don't know. So
Of all the people you know in the industry,
who's
pick
the
one.
biggest motherfucker we know?
But dude, like it doesn't have to be like that. That's most people choose who the most like 80% of people choose like the best comedic value. Like this would just be funny to watch me and this other fat bastard fall over trying to hit each other. You know, like that. I'm trying to remember who it was that said that, but like that's our question. Every guest we have, we ask them this because, and it started with we had Justo Aroa from Aladino on, and Corey asked him who would win in a fight, you or Christian. Christian Aroa, CLE. So he's like, who would win? And Justo dodged the question like so well. But you guys have watched the Junkies before. We don't let shit go. So it was like 15 minutes of just like, okay, that's cute, but who would win? No. Keep your political answer.
Okay.
Who would
So
win?
okay.
Finally, he was like, well, I'm the older brother. I got the experience. I'd kick Christian's ass. I'm like, aha! So you think you can beat Christian up, huh?
All right. So I'll say this. See, I like a challenge or a quasi challenge. So I'm gonna just say it'd be 2 people. Gotta be tag team match just against little old me. Brian and Sebastian. I want to give them a fighting chance.
One young man and one old man. Remember, old age and treachery beat youth and vigor every time.
Dude, old guys don't fight fair.
Nope.
I learned that a long time ago.
What are you talking
You're
about?
assuming I fight fair.
I was talking
Mr.
about
Black
you,
Belt.
asshole.
He was
You're
talking
the old
about
guy.
you, asshole.
You're the old guy, bro.
Motherfucker, you older than me.
I know.
I think I
Who
know
is
what
it?
that extra 900 square foot room's going to be. It's going to be an underground boxing ring.
That's it, man. We're putting padded walls.
First rule
Nah,
of
man,
Fight
we're-
Club, don't talk about Fight Club.
Nah, man, we're going old school. We're going knife fight. So it's me and Ed Trevino.
Oh shit!
Knife fight.
Cause you know Ed's packing, man. You know Ed's got something in his boot and his belt. He's carrying. I know you're carrying, Ed. I ain't scared, brother.
So I was at a cigar event a couple years ago, and a very well-known cigar individual drank way too much. And the guy next to me...
You've just listed half of the industry.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh. So the guy next to me just keeps like berating this guy. And I'm talking to the owners of the shop, and I'm hanging out. We're all sitting at like one long table. Next thing I know, this guy's coming across the table, screaming his ass off at me, holding the Chavetta, like the cigar knife, like coming at me with this thing. And I'm sitting there going, is this fucking happening? Like, I'm not even talking to you. He thought all the shit talking was coming from me, not the guy next to me. And the guy next to me just stood behind me when this hat went down. And I'm like, wait, like, I'm just backing up. And all of a sudden the owner came through and was like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of my shop. Like, you never have another event here. Like, what? And like, immediately, and this guy had a handler. So the guy, like, when he goes out, he has a handler that goes with him. So they got it all calm. And he comes up and he's apologizing. And I was like, dude, I still don't know what happened. Like, I don't even know what you're apologizing for. I have no idea what's going on. Whatever I did to offend you, I'm sorry. But please don't pull a fucking knife on me right now. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Holy shit.
Oh, hey, hold on, man. I want to amend my answer.
Okay.
If Trevino's not available, then I'm going with Island Jim.
Hey, I will let him know you said that.
Yeah, remember,
He's
Island
a
Jim
good
shops
boy,
down the
right?
street from him.
I feel like Island Jim would be like, yo, man, that's great, but, like, you want to hit this first, bro?
No, man, Island Jim hears that. He's going to be laughing so hard he won't be able to defend himself.
He won't give a shit. He'll be like, well, there's another one wants to kick my ass.
Yep.
That's a great dude, man. He is.
Yeah, he is.
Anybody who doesn't know Leaf and Bean in the Strip District in Pittsburgh, which is separate from the other Leaf and Beans around here, Island Jim runs that one. That guy is so good to small boutiques. It's amazing. Anybody comes to him with their cigar, he'll put them on the shelf. He may never buy your shit again, but he gives everybody a shot every single time that comes in the door. And I have so much respect for the way he runs that shop and the way he's done the business on that. Just fantastic, man.
No, he's a solid dude,
Yeah,
man.
he is.
It don't matter what's going on. The first year we were at Rocky Mountain and we saw him, and I really like those sticks, man. He's got some great stuff.
You like putting the woody in your mouth?
What's that?
You like putting the woody in your mouth?
Oh, stop it, you savage! You promised you weren't going to say that on the
Happy
cat.
Pride Month, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the flag in the background. So, he was just inundated at PC or at Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
And then we saw him afterwards, kind of in the bar, kind of out, and just he spotted us and he's like, hey, come here. I didn't really have a lot of time to talk to you guys, and just as cool as he looks like he would be, he is.
He's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just that's him, man. He don't give zero fucks.
Yep.
He's just happy to be doing what he's doing, and you got to respect that. That's
Yep.
a great thing.
Like you say, he's one solid dude. I like him a lot.
Yes, he is.
That's there's 3 shops around here where the owners I respect all the shop owners around here for different reasons. And in Pittsburgh, we have a really cool thing where we all kind of get along. I mean, before my shop opens, I will have a day where I invite all the shop owners to come down and just hang out. Bring your own sticks. I just want them to come down and hang out. It's that kind of environment down here. But there's 3 owners down here that have taught me, don't worry about the money at all. Like, you got to be responsible when you're spending and all that stuff. But like the way you treat your customers, like Jim took the time to remember you guys. How many fucking people did he meet that day?
Right.
Yeah.
No shit.
He
No
remembered,
shit.
and he made a conscious effort to make sure you remembered who you are, what you were, and then made sure to grab you guys out of the crowd because he actually cares. Like, he's one of those where he, and these other guys I'm talking about too, like they legit care about not just their customers, but anybody who's in this life with us. They
Right.
just like everybody who's in it. Why? Because we're all in it for a different reason, but we're all in it for the same reason. And if money was the driving force, they wouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
You know, and there's the business side of cigars, and then there's the lifestyle side of cigars, and there's that gray in between, and these guys run that gray so well. I mean, the one shop here is in a terrible location. I mean, horrible. It sucks. There's no reason to accidentally go by there. There's zero traffic past it. All this, and he's been super successful simply based on when you come in, welcome. And you immediately feel at home when you walk into this place. You know, he has that vibe. The other one, he's in a terrible location, like high crime rate, all that stuff. Same thing though. You walk in, you feel like you're in a sanctuary, like you're just good. Like, come on in, sit down, hang out with us. And they treat everybody like they're regulars as soon as they walk in the door.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
I respect the hell out of those, you know, those three guys, Jim being one of them. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
So I've thought about my answer of who I want to fight.
All right.
Purely because 99% of the cigar industry people I know I met through this podcast.
Okay.
And I think this would be fucking funny because to watch this person, the bell rings, he takes 2 steps, punches me in the throat, and just walks away. John Fozzie. Ding, ding, flap.
Good one.
Ding, ding.
Who's John Fozzie? I'm not
Chris,
familiar.
he's the
Christoph.
Christoph for West Coast.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was
That's
I'm
okay.
lost on this. Oh. No, if I tried to fight our Christoph rep, she'd kick my ass.
Yeah.
I believe she would. She's a badass.
Well, I'm finished with mine, and I'm back onto my nub. What are you guys thinking that are on the end of it?
This
Yeah.
thing's great, man.
I'd smoke it again.
Oh, for sure. And it's
Yeah.
just the flavor just holds all the way through it. I really enjoyed this.
It's beautifully consistent, but it's exactly what I expect coming out of Steve's house. It's perfect. The draw was great. There was no construction issues. I mean, yes, it's not my wheelhouse, but when I'm in Idaho at V-Cut, I'd buy it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 100%.
No, this is great. Now, how long have we been at this? What's the ticket?
We're at 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, this is one that I don't want to power through this. I want to sit down and enjoy it. And this is a great gauge. So this is definitely a 2-hour cigar where I have time.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want to rush us.
I have gotten a solid 3 hours out of this cigar before.
That's where I'm working right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten an enjoyable 3 hours with no relights out of this cigar before.
Yeah.
So it is fantastic. All that, you know, for me, the first third of this cigar is good, but for me, it's anticipation of the second third. I feel like it's a full flavor profile in the first third, but it lacks strength to really like rope me in. And then when you kind of get through that, and I don't even want to call it the first third because it's such a big stick, probably the first quarter.
Yeah.
You know, that first quarter is just kind of getting it warmed up and getting the whole body of the cigar going. And then once everything opens up and you get through that first quarter, then it just becomes amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you've got a little bit of strength to it and you've got all that flavor profile kicking at the same time and it opens up. The final third on this thing is always really amazing. And if you can take it down, you know, really get it down there to that last little bit, you're going to find there's a magic spot here where the pepper kind of overwhelms it, but you still enjoy that.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, it's still good. It doesn't, you know, a lot of sticks when you smoke it down to the very end, it's just too bitter. There's too much pepper. It's too bitey and all that. This doesn't get that. It keeps that sweetness and that smoked meat profile all the way through it kind of thing.
Awesome.
It kind of gives you that.
Sounds like one where we need to throw the Cigar on and smoke
Yes.
it all the way through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Shout out to Cigar.
Yeah, those guys, dude, that's a cool product. I didn't know about them until you guys.
Yeah. Have you gotten one yet?
Nah, I haven't yet. I'm gonna order a couple through them and put them up in the shop. And stuff
yeah.
Like that.
Oh
So,
yeah. No, that's
They'll sell quick.
and it's
Yeah.
I like using it in the morning. And I've said this before, if I'm at the computer, you know, doing stuff at the shop, that's one thing. But if I'm actually working on the table, putting something together, the cigar is great because it's you know, you can hold that cigar, you know, in your mouth. You don't have to you can be kind of hands free. But hey, if you interview those guys, run that fight question to her too, and I bet she'd say me for the fight.
Yes. All right. Dude, we haven't had like anybody say each other yet. So I'm really excited for that day.
Oh, there
Where
we
we're
go.
like, where it's like,
I would have thrown her out there, but I'm pretty sure she'd whip my ass.
Yeah, that was my thought too. I'm like, I could say share, but I'd get my ass kicked.
She would hurt me. She would hurt me a lot emotionally. No, dude, most of the cigars that I smoke fit into a corncob pipe pretty well. So I still rock the corncob for finishing off.
Oh my God!
Don't judge
Larry,
me.
you take this one.
You can almost hear the banjo music from Deliverance in the background.
Don't
Listen
think it.
there. I don't want to hear none of your shit right now. All right, I've had enough. All right, I've been abused by you for 2.5 hours now. Don't you comment on where my mom and my dad is from, you know, or the trailer that they grew up in. Okay.
Anthony, put the music from Deliverance behind that.
Well, you know, it's not so bad, actually. I almost expected him to look at Greg and go, "You got a pretty mouth." Ain't that right, Ned
I think I
Beatty?
already told him that at least 2 times.
He ain't gonna find out.
Hey, look, one of you guys is the winner of the sexiest bald head, and the other one's not. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Who wore it best?
Probably Robinson.
Hey, oh yeah. No, when I did that, dude, that post went. I think it had like 15 or 18,000 views.
Jeez, I
It
forgot
had
about
like
this.
1,200 comments amongst everything, and I tallied them up. You won, bro. Like,
Oh, shit.
you won.
Well, you know what happened at PCA last year? Larry and I are heading back from Treasure Island.
Oh my God!
Oh yes. Oh,
shit. So we're
yes.
heading back from Treasure Island. This blonde girl walks by, and she looks at me, and she says, "Oh, shit, Suge Knight."
Oh,
It was amazing.
I got to wear that shirt for the show. For one of these shows, I got to wear the Suge Knight shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Larry's
So-
wife got that for me for Christmas last year. I got to rock that shirt.
Yep.
so speaking of walking back from Treasure Island, you guys remember what happened to me, right?
Nope.
Mm.
So I'm crossing the street coming from Treasure Island going towards Harrah's, right? I hadn't crossed over the main boulevard yet. I'm going, just trying to cross the damn road. I'm walking. It's like 3:30 in the morning, and I hear, "Yeah!" And next thing I know, my face is on the fucking asphalt. And she was twice the size Larry was, and she mounted my ass. Oh, she got fucking air. You didn't hear about this?
No! How do
Oh,
we not hear about this?
How is
So
there
then-
not YouTube video of this?
So it goes around a little bit, and then I tell Lee Marsh about this, right? Fucking, I'm leaving PCA on the last day, and I hear, "Yeah!" It's fucking Lee sprinting to run my ass down. He puts his hands on my shoulders and jumps, and I was like, "You motherfucker!"
Oh, God.
Like, I got PTSD right now. Stop! I was mounted. No, she jumped me and flattened me in the middle of the road. Her friends come running over. "I'm sorry, she's just drunk." And I'm
No
like,
shit.
She got away from us.
I know, but here's the thing: she is not fast. I am aware. There is no way that that woman is fast enough to get away from y'all. We're drunk too. Fine. Have a good weekend.
Oh, God.
She broke
Fucking,
containment.
dude, I was my elbows and shit. I was all bruised from it. I'm like,
Oh, shit.
she took me down.
No.
Mid intersection, like main drag. Just
Be honest though, as funny as your side of that story is, imagine her and her friends retelling that story.
Oh.
Jennifer, you just assaulted a man.
No, not assaulted, mounted.
yeah, I did, and I had like a good deal going that night. Like I was working, deal was lined up. Dude didn't see it. He was in front of me. So he turns around and he goes, "Fuck are you doing on the ground?" Fuck. Like, at least if you'd have seen it, this would be a humor point. We would have an undying bond. No, you think I'm drunk and I fell in the middle of the asphalt because this just happened. Son of a bitch.
Well, they do say that the hippo is the most dangerous animal in the animal kingdom.
Oh, Jesus. right.
Bro,
Yes, I said it.
Jennifer does not deserve that. Calm down. I don't know which one.
She
of you
was
guys
drunk.
made
She
Jennifer.
had it coming. Sorry. When you stop acting like a lady, you got what's coming to you.
Dude, I have so many comments that I am just. I have made it through this whole thing without being like, you know what? Hey, camera girl, like, can you take that out? I don't want to start now, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut to all the comments I have right now.
I'm an awful human being.
Yes, you
We're
are.
aware.
So, Greg, how often do you go to Idaho?
At
I think
least
you're up there a lot.
so the backstory is my buddy moved up there 2 years ago. Well, February he lost his wife. She died of cancer. So I make it a point now to try and get up there at least once a month. Sometimes it's twice a month. Sometimes it's just one. But it's such a cool environment. The lounges up there are they're the same, but they're different because the people in Idaho are far friendlier than they are here in California. It's just a fun place to hang out. I don't really want to come back home, but you know, the income ratio to everything out here is marginally better than it is over there, even though they'll tell you different. But
Dude, Idaho is the West Coast Pennsylvania. Like it's got that Midwestern mentality. It's not right on the coast, but it's close enough, and
the weather's generally shit.
the weather's generally shit. There's not a lot there trying to kill you, except you guys got fucking mountain lions. So
No, they
fuck
got
that.
grizzly bears.
And those are fine. That's all you have to do is outrun your friend, and you're good with those. So.
Yeah, true.
It's the sneaky shit that scares me. Like Australia, like, you know, these motherfuckers driving down the road, there's just like a spider right here in their car, and they're just like, you know, oh, no fucking day, right? This motherfucker can't roll the window down. He's gonna fucking come get me. You know, this bullshit. They don't care. I'm like, no, dude, that is liquid death. That is not fucking okay. That is 8 legs of fury. I'm out. That's a ceiling fan. That is that. No shit. Nope. No, sir. That is a silent killer. And they're like, oh, he's harmless. Don't even worry about him. Don't worry about him. You're lucky. Dude, I will be in this car with a shotgun and shoot that motherfucker. I don't care if I go deaf. He's going down.
Their fangs can't even penetrate your skin. Yeah, but he can put me in a fucking chokehold. Look at those arms.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He knows what I'm talking about, doesn't he? He's fucking been doing this ringing before. I know. Yeah, no. Fuck spiders, but no. More than spiders. I can deal with spiders.
Snakes.
Fuck snakes. Dude, that is a nope rope. But my kids call them nope ropes. They are fully aware. You know. So when we bought our first property together, we had a couple acres, and I'm out weed whacking, and I kept the 22 on me because bunnies are delicious. That's really why I would do it.
True.
That's my favorite meat, by the way. Bunny is the most delicious meat when it's prepared properly.
I love that you call it bunny, not rabbit. Bunny.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, my kids refer to like pig is Pumbaa. You know, deer venison is Bambi. Like we put faces to this shit. Like,
Wow.
my kids are being raised similar. Like that's meat. It happens to have a personality now, but it's gonna be meat, no matter what you do. What are you pinching your face for?
I just thought of
Does
this.
the Oinky story come to mind?
Yes, Oinky comes to mind.
Oh no.
I don't even remember where we were going with this.
Tommy, get the damn trains out of here.
So, but no, I'm weed whacking, and all of a sudden, from my wife's perspective, she hears a gunshot, and then she hears a second gunshot pretty quick. So she runs out to see A, is everything okay? B, what pots and pans do I need? We've been through this. We've done this. Like, where are we going now? And I'm sitting down with a beer in the middle of the field just drinking it. She goes, what's wrong? I said, fucking snake. She goes, what was it? I said, I don't know. Rattlesnake, cobra, fucking killer. It's bad. No. She looks over. It's a 6-foot black snake. And I shot it. I missed it on the first shot. That motherfucker dodged a bullet. Okay? He did this. And if you don't believe me, the second shot hit him between the fucking eyes.
So we
like,
got
I
a
don't wanna
Matrix
hear that
snake.
I missed. I shot this fucker in between the eyes. So she's like, well, what do you do with it now? I said, you leave it there to fucking rot. She's like, you can't do that. I'm like, fine. So I threw it up in a tree. She's like, what's that? I'm like, I'm telling his fucking friends we live here now. This is not okay.
Tell the
You don't
other
fucking
snakes
come
what you
around.
saw.
You don't come around my house. I don't do snakes. So fast forward a couple years, and I learned to appreciate black snakes because they eat everything that she's afraid of. And so, you know, we get a black snake in the yard, and she's like, can you go get it? I'm like, you asshole. So I'm inside. My garage was a big commercial garage at that house. So I've got my garden tractor. I've got it hooked up on the front end loader, and I've got it picked up in the air so I can sharpen the blades. Because why would I take the deck off when I can just pick the thing up? So I've got it up in the air, and all of a sudden I hear boom, 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 boom. What the fuck was that? And all of a sudden, one of the totes that's sitting on the landing is moving. So I go over, and there's a black snake. It fell from the ceiling, hit the garage door, and then fell over on the landing and landed in a tote. So I got a piece of 1/4-inch plate steel and just set it on it. She got home from work. When we first met, I would come home from work, and there would be caps from, like, hairspray or spray paint everywhere in the basement. Those are bugs you need to kill. Okay.
What
So
the
what did I do
fuck?
15 years later? What did I do 10 years later? I left her a fucking 6-foot black snake in a tote. My neighbor, who's 80-some years old, comes over. He's sitting there drinking a beer. She comes home. She's like, what's the deal with that? I was like, oh, that's you, honey. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's your problem. You said I'm not allowed to kill him. It's on you. She goes, what is it? I said, it's a black snake. Figure it out. So I pull the plate steel off. This fucker goes, starts looking around. She's like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind. It's fine. My neighbor goes, do you want me to take care of it? She's like, please take care of it. But he's like, yeah, no problem. Levi was the man. He was that. I mean, the guy never wore clothes other than like just the overalls, right? No, that's it. You know, 104 years old. He was that guy. Wow. The guy had a heart attack. He was down the next day plowing my garden. Like, he was just that old guy. He was awesome.
Nice.
You realize we've eaten up our entire month's recording time.
That's fine.
You did it all. You did it again already. Like,
Well, whatever. Yeah.
So,
where do we go from
I have a
here?
question.
Well, hey, you know, before we go, there's one comment.
Wait. He's got a question.
Okay.
I'm scared.
What the fuck is the human being? I've been staring at that since the beginning.
Coffee.
Like, why the human being? Like, the human being? Like, what's...
It's
Like,
just
I know where my beanbag is, and you don't want to drink what comes from it. You might end up with a triple batch.
it's it's just a coffee house here that is way better than Starbucks and way
Yeah.
better than Dutch Bros.
We'll go with that.
Did I answer your question sufficiently?
But, like, really, like, why would you call it? Like, dude, Just the Tip Cigars is terrible. I'm aware. But the human being? Dude,
It's
That's
better
just
than the human bag.
this is true. It puts the lotion in the basket.
Oh,
shit! Let's make
Well,
a human.
Julia's never going to sponsor this show. My local franchisee is now going to go, fuck you, Greg. I'm never sponsoring your show.
Put the fucking coffee in the basket.
It puts the coffee in the basket, or else it gets my hose again.
It rubs the grounds on its skin.
So, Scott, save us.
All right. So, before we wrap this up, I want to make a comment from our last show. Notice we've got a lot of listeners out in Riyadh, so I want to give a shout out to them. Thank you for listening, guys and gals. I think I know what that's from, so we truly appreciate it.
We do.
Amen.
And, oh, wow, we've had a good time here. Hey, Samuel, thanks for coming on to the show, man. This has been a blast. I mean,
Please come back.
shit, I mean, what are we, 2.5 hours in?
Almost 3.
Shit,
And I
yeah.
feel like we just started. Like, it's scary how well it's
Yeah.
not. It's a bit much. It works out really well.
Yeah, it does.
Dude, I like bullshit with you guys. Like, I mean,
Oh, no
I called
doubt,
Larry
man.
to give him my payment information, and we were on the phone for 45 minutes. And I know he's busy. You know,
Yeah, shit happens, man. Yeah, that was
Right?
cool.
dude, I love it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, hey, man, congratulations on your soon-to-be grand opening.
Yes.
We look forward to hearing the first day stories, and
Yes.
we look forward to planning a trip out there and seeing the shop in person.
Hell yeah, guys. I cannot wait to have you guys out here. I can't wait to smoke with everybody at the shop. And
No doubt. No doubt.
our soon-to-be fine establishment will be, I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep that tagline forever, too. It's always going to be a soon-to-be fine establishment. We'll be open 10 years. It's going to be a soon-to-be fine establishment.
I would.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll never get there, but we'll keep trying.
Yes.
Yeah. Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Great cigar, great company, great people. Thank you guys so much. And thanks for having me on. Salud.
Salud. All right, Gorilla, bring me home. Well, like I always say, the cigar's down to the nub and my scotch is empty, so I think it's about that time. Want to thank everybody out there for listening, and on behalf of our guest, Sam Hoffman from Just the Tip Cigars and the Cigar Junkies, the Gorilla, as always, mastering the boards, Lawrence and Greg and myself, thank you for listening. Check us out at lumcigarcartel.com. Like and share us on Facebook. Check out our stuff on Instagram. And don't be a stranger. Drop us a line and let us know you're out there. I'm Scott Robinson, and on behalf of all of us here at Beyond the Humidor, we look forward to chatting with you on the next episode. But until then, as always, stay healthy and safe, and good smoke, good drink, and good life.